decibels, and we try to complement. We are looking at legislation because it is always great to every year we meet up here, but now that could want to work.
Among the autistic youths who shared how they handled transitioning to adulthood was Bermuda's Amani Peets, who currently heads his own cookie company.
I started this cookie business on February 19th of 2019. When I was in high school, my dad had been discussing with me in grade 10 about my future and what career I would like. My cheesecake creations are on the menu at a local restaurant here in Bermuda. My cookies are also served daily on a new airline called Bermuda. They travel to many destinations such as New York, Boston, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Florida, Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia, to name a few.
Amani Peets, entrepreneur and autistic youth. That's it for this feature. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we invite you to log on to jis.gov.jm for this and other interesting news and features. On behalf of studio engineer Andre Sawyers, I'm Jada Francis. Walk good. A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
4 minutes after 9.
You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning to you. It is Thursday, April 10, 2025. We are alive and well, and for that we give God thanks. Good morning to you. If you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9, thank you so much for joining us on your radio. Those who have the radio on in the house and you're doing a little housework right now. Those of you who are in your car heading to work or heading about, running your errands or just your daily activities on the road and the radio is on in the car, good morning to you. Those of you who have your little radio, your little portable radio where you walk up and down with, who in the farm, who outside a sweep, good morning to you. If you have the Nationwide on in your business place, good morning to all of you. If you have Nationwide on the radio and you are jogging, good morning to you. Radio can listen anyway, I'll tell you that. Good morning to you if you're listening and watching on our YouTube channel. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live 2. That's Nationwide 90 FM LIVE and the number 2 beside that. I want to say good morning to David Nebar. First in the YouTube chat this morning. Also saying good morning to Errol Townsend. Kariva Peart, good morning to you. Errol Townsend, yes, I said that already. Good morning. Sonia Hutton, good morning to you. Lily White, good morning. Cheyenne Atkinson, top of the morning to you. Melissa Williams, good morning. Jean Sellers, top of the morning to you. Ken Youth Mullings, good morning to you. Ryder 40, good morning. Cherry Care, Monica Callum, good morning. Hugh Donaldson, Gillian Coleman, good morning to you. Corrine, good morning. And all the others over there on YouTube. Herman Hyatt, top of the morning to you. If you're listening from our mobile app, which is available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, good morning to you. And those on our website, the Listen Now option there, good morning to you as well. Thank you for making it Nationwide 90 FM. I'm also live over there on TikTok, Nora Gay Banton. You can just search my name. You should be able to find me. Thank you so much for joining me over there on TikTok. Big up on yourself, all of you who follow and like up the live and comment and big up yourself. All right. So this morning inside the Consumer Hour, we will be taking your calls. So the phone lines are open. The numbers to call 876 630-9371. There's also 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and then our Digicel line is 618-8255. All right, and just before I go to the phone lines, I was asked on Monday to mention this, and I forgot. I didn't see it until now, so I saw it this morning, so I'm gonna mention again the street lights on Olympic Way from Australia Road to Seaward Drive. I've mentioned this before, and these residents are calling out to JPS because this has been the case since last year. The street lights are out from Australia Road to Seaward Drive in Olympic Way, and the lights on most of Barcombe Drive are also out, and this has been the case since 2024, since last year. This is in the constituency of the Prime Minister, St. Andrew West Central. The constituency of the Prime Minister, you PM Holness, your MP Holness, your constituents are seeing if you can, asking if you can assist them here. Because even though, it may not be the main prerogative of the MP street lights, but you can offer some representation on behalf of the residents to JPS and on those who are responsible for ensuring that the street lights are working so that your constituency can have some light in this area at night. And as I always say on this program, if street lights are in an area, it means that someone or some entity, some authority saw that there was a need for the street light or street lights. And so they're there. And if the poles are there, the bulbs are there, but they ain't working, that means they ain't serving their purpose. And so we need to get that fixed. Areas that are dark, make it conducive to all kind of criminal activity, robbery. If you can't see what's going on there, people will find use for the dark spot. It's our reality. We can't deny that. And so, JPS, first of all, Olympic Way from Australia Road to Seaward Drive, street lights been out since last year, and most of Balcombe Drive in the area of Olympic Way. So Olympic, yeah, right. You know where that is. So if JPS, if you can offer some assistance, that would be greatly appreciated. But once again, unfortunately, sometimes we have to talk about these things for months before we get attention and then get actual work done. I've been talking about a street light in Peyton Place for quite some time now. Augusttown, Kintyre side. I'll know. So I will keep the advocacy up for the persons the residents living in Olympic Way, and we'll see how best we can get some assistance. But Prime Minister Holness, it's your constituency. If you can offer some representation, maybe that will move it a little bit faster. If you, as the MP, step to JPS and say, hey, look, darkness is right here and I can't have this in my constituency, trust me, I think it will move a little faster. Just saying. So, that's the advocacy for that for today. And I also have here some advisories from the NWC, and I always say the NWC is very good at letting you know areas that will be out of water or will have affected water supply beforehand. These things are usually on their website. Advisories are usually placed sometimes on social media, and so I always say just look. If you're realizing low water pressure or something is happening, look on the NWC's website. Most times, an advisory is there. All right? So I'm going to go through a few of them for you. Water supply to customers in Alligator Pond, Bull Savannah, New Forest and environs will be impacted by an emergency maintenance work at the New Forest well facility in Manchester today, Thursday, April 10, 2025, between the hours of 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. And so the areas to be affected include Bull Savannah, Rose Corner, Bent Town, Alligator Pond, Lititz, New Forest, Sea Air, Duffus House and Thatch Walk. So if you live in those areas by 11 a.m., which is in just a few hours, your water supply will be affected due to emergency maintenance work at the New Forest well facility. And so if you are home now, I advise you to catch up a little water because this work is anticipated to go on until 6 p.m. So if you're planning to wash today, catch up some water from now because water supply will be affected between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Those supplied by the New Forest well facility in Manchester. All right. Due to emergency pump testing activity being carried out at the Gutters pumping station in St. Elizabeth, operation at the facility will be reduced to 50% capacity until 6 p.m. Sunday, April 13, 2025. So this will also affect operations at the Greater Manville water supply system. Every effort is being made, the NWC says, to resume normal operations at the facility within the time specified. And so the areas to be affected, lots of areas, so listen up if you are in Mandeville and surrounding areas. Pepper, Downs, Gutters, Spur Tree, Prospect, sections of New Forest, Nain, Sea Air, Greenvale, Hatfield, Dunrobin, Balvenie, Mandeville Town, Georges Valley. Yo, I always laugh when I hear Georges Valley and this thing, because I have family living in Georges Valley. And for all the time I've been in Georges Valley, I know say no water not coming in my pipe. So I always laugh when I see Georges Valley on these advisory. Because water there, Georges Valley? Water come through pipe? Maybe in some sections, but it's hilarious to me. Where was I? Let me see. Georges Valley, Hillside, Richmond, Old England, Grey Ground, Newport, Ward Avenue, Hearties, Knockpatrick, Woodlawn Housing Scheme, Caledonia Road, Caledonia Meadows, Albion, Mayday, Brumalia, Marshall's Pen, Waltham, Perth, separate from Cedar Gardens, Miketown, Lincoln, Huntley and surrounding areas. So this is due to an emergency pump testing activity that will affect water supply until 6 p.m. Sunday, April 13. Well, the water supply the operations at the facility will be reduced to 50% capacity. And so there may be, the water pressure may be low or no water at some intervals, I'm assuming. And the final one, just before we go to the break, customers in Avon Park in St. Catherine, water disrupted due to a broken main along the network. So the NWC is aware of those in Avon Park in St. Catherine. Your water is being disrupted and that is due to a broken main, and the company estimates that the repairs will be completed by 1 p.m. today. So the NWC is working, those in Avon Park, St. Catherine or Avon Park, St. Catherine, the company is working to get your water back up by 1 this afternoon. All right, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have some more advisories for you, and then we'll go into the calls.
Decorate and redecorate your space with water-resistant, colorful, and fast-drying paints from Edgechem Paints. The time by Edgechem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time, is
9:17.
When you start eye-saving, more things become possible. That car you've been eyeing goes from your dreams to your driveway. That big vacation moves from your wish list to a spot on the calendar. The new fridge that was once a need becomes a star of your kitchen. Supercharge your money with a high-yield eye-save account. Put your savings on autopilot so you won't even need to think about it. Turn that dream into a done with iSave from VMBS. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Revamp your space with unique living, sleek fixed and sliding shower panels, shower systems and faucets, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, basins and kitchen sinks, closet and storage solutions, hanging aids, and more. Available in different finishes and sizes to match your style. Transform your space and visit us today at shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call us at 876-755-3661 or visit our website at uniquelivingja.com to shop.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Norige Banton. We are taking your calls, so if you have any consumer-related matters, you can give us a call. The numbers to call 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4 and 618-8255. You can call any of those numbers, and we'll be sure to hear your concerns and see how best we can assist you. I did say we have a few more advisories. This one, though, it's a schedule for customers living in Brownstown and surrounding areas. They will be supplied with water on the following days and times per week. So this is a water supply schedule for persons living in Brownstown. Take note of this and ensure that you're doing what you need to do to get water in a container, get water together, so that when you don't, when the days that come that you will not be getting water, then you will have water stored until your time comes again. So, is this Monday the coming Monday, or is it Monday we're gone already? I am not seeing a date, so I want to know. Michelle, is this for Monday coming or Monday we're gone already? I don't see a date specific. Oh, it came out this week, so I'm assuming this will be for Monday. Yeah, that's gone already. So I guess I will have to go. Okay, so I guess I will have to go to today then, because those days would have already gone. So on Thursday, that's today, between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., Egypt Tank to York Castle High, Brownstone High, Brownstone Primary, and Egypt. Your water supply is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. today. And 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Friday morning, that's tomorrow morning, Goshen customers will be getting water. So once again, right now, Thursday, April 10, it started at 7 a.m. So the people in Egypt Tank to York Castle High, Brownstone Primary, and Egypt, you are getting water now. Your water supply cutoff will be at 7 p.m. And at 7 p.m., starting at 7 p.m., the customers in Goshen will be getting water until 7 a.m. Friday morning, so tomorrow morning. So tonight, Goshen customers, look out for the water, catch up what you can catch up, and because by 7 o'clock Friday morning, water going to be off for you. So Friday at 3 p.m. now, so tomorrow 3 p.m., Egypt Tank to Benin, York Castle, Brownstone High, Brownstone Primary will be getting water, and Egypt's 3 p.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Saturday morning. So why them give the school water 3 p.m. when school lock, and then school now go open back till Monday? Okay. Alright. So NWC say 3 p.m. Friday afternoon, Egypt Town, Benin, York Castle, Brownstone High, Brownstone Primary, Egypt, 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. Saturday morning. So the school will have to set up some people to stay overnight and catch up some water. So Monday, them can have water again. Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Addison Park Drive, St. Christopher Drive, Top Liberty Valley, Bottom Orange and New Road, Saturday 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on Saturday evening 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Sunday morning, Tansy Corner, Bottom Orange Hill, English Side and Marble Top. And then Sunday morning now, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Cockpit, Top Orange Hill, Bottom Orange Hill, and 7 p.m. Sunday evening to 7 a.m. Monday morning. Oh, so the school will get water Monday morning again. Okay, nice. Egypt Tank, York Castle High, Brownstone High, Brownstone Primary, and Egypt. All right. So I believe the NWC, they usually do a good job at putting these advisories on their social media. So you can look and inform yourselves if you're living in Brownstone or surrounding areas, so that you can be properly informed and you can make the necessary actions to get water stored so that you can have water to use until your time come again. All right. Who do we have on the phone lines? Sonia, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Nora.
How are you?
Regular listener.
Thank you.
And having violence in my office because they want me to change my station, and I will not do that. It's
Tell them
my
you're not
radio.
change it.
It's my radio. Anyway, I'm calling the customer service.
Mm-hmm.
No other problem. I had an accident, and my vehicle just fixed. This is from November, but I'm going to a broker.
Yes.
Anyway, I had to, the lights needed to be imported. I had to do that because I'm not giving me no money till whenever.
Yeah.
So I had to use my personal money because I want the lights. And it's going to take, like, say, 3 weeks to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So I used my money. When I had to get back my money, them said 10 working days. After I get all the information and transfer, don't take no time, you know. Anyway, that is beside the point. But do that, and the vehicle just come now. They want me to pay my insurance. It is due. Now the vehicle is in the garage. I say it is in the garage. Them send them money like 100 and 1,000 for insurance. No, I'm a senior citizen. I can't pay that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They call me to inform me now that I don't know if while they were due in the vehicle, the windscreen was cracked.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be changed. So normally the insurance would pay for that. They're saying that they are not going to honor that unless I pay the completion of the insurance. But I say I paid half to be on the road for, to move up and down. So why can't you, be customer friendly? This is like years I'm with them.
No, I understand. Mm-hmm. All right. So is it that you have an arrangement to pay your insurance every 6 months, or you pay
it yearly?
You pay for the year.
For the year.
But this time around, you didn't pay the entire thing. You only paid half.
Yeah, because the vehicle is in the garage.
Garage. Okay,
so and not on the road.
Okay, and they honored,
so
they were okay with that arrangement.
Yes, for me to pay a portion that can be legal on the road. But no, I don't know, maybe because they are going to stand the expense for the windshield, because you're entitled.
I am assuming so.
For the year.
I am assuming so.
And no, that is what my contract said, that you are allowed. Yes.
Yeah, but remember, you're on a yearly payment arrangement. The only reason you've paid half this time is because really and truly you're not driving the vehicle and it's really in the garage being repaired, and so they've understood that and allowed you to pay only half, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But they're saying to you, if they have to honor the contractual arrangement the windshield, you have to go pay them all of them money for them honor that, because your arrangement with them really is a yearly payment.
Yes.
You understand?
I understand what you're saying, but they are the person who bring it out so long, you know, because they would not give me the money for the accident.
They're the person who bring what out long? What do you mean?
The insurance. I mean, every year I pay whenever it's due. But what I'm saying, they take so long to give me the money for the accident. So it go over the insurance time, because them lay with the money. Because I have to be using my personal money.
Yeah, man, and I understand that. But really and truly, what you're contending is the fact that the windshield is damaged and it's covered under your insurance, right? But it's covered under your insurance when you pay your insurance.
But I paid a portion because
I'm happy you said a portion.
Yes,
because your arrangement with them, and I'm going to go back to that, your arrangement with them is a yearly payment. And the only reason you didn't pay the full, and which they've agreed to, is that the car is in the garage fixing. So they're assuming the car is not going to be going through all the rigors that it, and the risks that it would be used to if it was on the road, accident and all, it a fix. So them accept the half.
But then again, this normally I don't pay so much, 100 and 1,000, I mean, pay them half. Normally I pay 30 something or so, because I have no claims. So maybe them all forgive me change out of the half.
I don't understand.
But I have 100% no claim.
So
normally I would pay like 30 odd, and I pay them 50 now. So maybe me forget change out of my 50.
No, but if you did forget change, them that give you change, don't so?
Them not gonna give me the change till it's value, because it's not valued,
I'm a bit confused. I'm not.
The vehicle normally you get your vehicle valued before the insurance. You have to get a valuation. So it is not valued because it's not on the road, but the insurance is due.
Okay.
So I paid a portion.
So the money you paid, who told you to pay that? Who told you the amount that you should pay?
No, I asked and they said I could pay a portion.
A portion of what was the total that you're paying?
The portion was like 100,000.
And what's the total that you should have been paying?
No, well, since it's not valid, I don't know. But normally for the past,
no, but so what are you paying a portion of if you don't know the whole?
Because I want it to be on the road to get it valid. I don't want to be on the road without an insurance. I just pay to cover me. It's a cover note I have.
So how much you will normally pay for the year? How much insurance you normally pay for the year?
That's what I'm telling you. The last time I paid, the last 3 years, is about 40-something thousand.
40,000 for the let's say 45 for the year.
Yes, for the year. Yes.
And this portion that you paid is what?
I paid 50 because they did not get a valuation, so they just send out a money. Them just put all the things them together.
Put what things together?
But no, the different things that them normally put for insurance paper.
Like what? What?
Like the value of the vehicle. I don't have the documents right before me here. No. Me know you're lost, but what I'm saying, if I'm really talking about customer.
You are really just saying they should be using their discretion.
Exactly.
Me love them. There's something they don't really work with insurance and money them defend. So if you expect discretion from them,
me notice everywhere now. Nobody know your light bill, your water. Nobody just don't care if you pay every day.
You see, the thing is, remember, insurance almost coming like bank, So you will pay money, and if they have to give you money, it's out of the money that you and everybody else pay. So if you not pay, them can't give out. You understand?
No understand. Yes,
So what them a look upon is the fact that you not pay your full insurance and your windscreen mash up and you want money for it. So them a go look say, if we give you the full money under your insurance for the windscreen, we are give out more than we are get in. Yeah, that's how they're looking at it, you know. Because they would be giving you, say your insurance covers windshield $100,000, right? And you only pay half of your insurance for this year, and them go give you the full $100,000 for your windshield. You see how they are thinking?
I hear you.
Yeah. So I understand that you're saying they must look say you're a loyal customer and you pay your insurance every year, but I know the insurance don't really work.
Is the first them paying for windshield for the first almost about 20 years.
Them no business about that, my love. Me I tell you. And I like corner shop where the people them know you come every week and them say, alright, you can't owe me for your bread. I know so. You understand?
That's the way it's there. But you know, you just look at it and say, you can be customer friendly.
That is true. That is true. But with insurance, if you owe, you owe. If you don't owe, you don't owe. I just saw them look.
But before, I don't want to keep up with time. But before, I remember, I was at the stoplight and a taxi man run in my back at the red, run in at the back. Him said the car roll. As he met him never said the light. Him said the car roll. And you know my claim this what you call it? No claim. They took 15% off my no claim, you know.
Oh. Well,
they took 15%
because you claim. Because you claim no.
Yeah, but then me have to claim because I'm wrong.
No.
So you say you no claim.
But you never have to claim. Uno could have fixed it outside the insurance.
You say from that, me don't see him again.
Oh, okay. Understood.
That's why I had to claim.
And that's why I tell you say it kinda there are limited grey areas with insurance and it kinda black and white. You claim no. And there are policies once you claim. So them because just
him tell me say that, you know, him will fix it no whatever. From that day I don't see him until now. And I never know say them have time limit.
You didn't report it, you never anything like that?
I reported it.
Okay.
I reported
Take him number and them something there?
Yes. But it wasn't even his taxi.
I see. Boy, so it go.
Anyway,
yeah,
thank
Sonia.
you for your listening.
Yeah, man, all the best.
Yeah,
We're gonna
have a blessed day.
You too. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we will continue taking your calls.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:35.
Every man in a wake up, you drop your nose like it a drop off. You walk on it, this soju out and this dirty, nasty cough. Yes, and you me a talk, don't look around, don't drop your nose. Galango bathe your skin and hurry up and put on your clothes. This soju out and this cough, don't worry yourself, you're not stress. Get Fisherman's Friend, all the cough it will suppress. It have a minty flavor. Go to the pharmacy, spend your money. Stop laughing up with the cashier, not about your sore throat, not funny. Aventa Jamaica distribute this. Them your people you can trust. Not talking on nobody face, get Fisherman's Friend first.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply. We service what we sell.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. We're taking your calls. If you have any consumer-related matters, we'll hear out and see how best we can assist you. If we can't, we'll hear you and tell you that maybe this one is just a goner. Or put you on to those who can assist you with the issue. We're going to go back now to the phone lines. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Banton. How are you?
I am doing good. How are you?
Doing good so far.
Awesome.
A few weeks ago, I did call in and reported a light from the Big Road Glengarth area. Was out of service, and thanks be to God, they came and fixed it a few weeks ago.
Wow. Very
and
good.
then I told them to just fix that only, then fix the next one run by Cassava River. And
Very nice.
I'm saying thanks to you and thanks to JPS.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, Michael. We appreciate when you call and give us an update when the things are addressed. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it.
Can I say something about a road?
Yes, go right ahead.
The road from Cassava River to Mawoni. That piece there from Cassava River Bridge to Mawoni. It's very bad. I wish Miss Flint could do something about it.
Cassava River, the bridge to Mahoney.
Yes, that piece of road is so bad, you know.
Boy, the government has been on a roll with these road improvement projects. I heard the minister with responsibility for works, Robert Morgan, announcing another one. Well, he did clarify that it is really just a renewal of a system that was already in place. This one is $1.5 billion. That's a program targeting some critical areas that need to be addressed. So another road patching program coming into effect or being revitalized, and that's set to begin in May. So maybe you can see if you can get word with your MP so that you can just let her know that if it's possible, Cassava River Bridge to Mahoney can be added to this new program, or find out if it's on the list for any of the other programs, because it may be.
Yes.
Have you ever spoken to your MP?
No, you never spoken to her.
So tell me something. When you and I know some of these constituencies are really big and the constituency office may not even be close, but just picking your brain, when you for example the road, this one that you're talking about, have you ever said, you know what, I'm gonna try to see if I can find out my MP's constituency hours and see if I can catch her, even for a quick minute, to just let her know, see me face to face, I can see her, and just let her know that, hey MP, I'm just bringing this one to your attention. Have you ever thought about doing that?
She's not really my MP. I just have to drive through that.
Oh, you don't live in the area? No.
I live over in the Glengarth here, but I just have to drive through that piece of road.
I understand.
But she's not my really MP, but is she in charge? She is the MP for that area.
Okay, I understand that. You still can. I mean, even if you're not her constituent, the area still affects you as a Jamaican citizen, so you could still have word with her. But I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
But just to use this opportunity to let you know that this is something that you should be doing. Remember, the members of parliament, they are there to serve you, the people. It's not you serving them, it's them serving you. You elected them, and so they are there to serve you, the people. And so you must utilize, and when you can't get to them and speak to them, you must talk up. Because you can't elect somebody to represent you and you can't see them. It's not so it work. You should be able to see them. They should have constituency office hours where they are there and people can make an appointment to go and speak with their elected representative. So it must work.
Right.
Yes. That's what the constituency office, that's not all it's there for, but that's part of its use. True. For the MP to have a space where people can come. Right. Leave your requests, leave your concerns, and let them be known to your member of parliament. But thank you so much for calling, Michael. We will definitely put this one out there for MP Cuthbert Flynn.
Thank you ever so much.
Yeah, man, no problem. So
she's hearing and listening.
Yes, yesterday was her birthday. I hope she's done celebrating now so she can hear this one. So MP Cuthbert Flynn, Cassava River Bridge to Mahoney, Mr. Michael saying that he has to drive through that one regularly and it is not in a good state, asking you if there are any plans to get that one sorted out in the near future. Who else do we have? All right, so calling out to MP Cuthbert Flynn for that one there. And just to go back to the point I was making earlier, a lot of, and I know politics in Jamaica is, there are different views, perspectives. You know, some people vote for different reasons. Some people vote for what they can get from the MP, for example, farm card as them call it, if you go up on farm work program. Some people just vote because they got a little thing close to election, wrap up in a shirt, and them say, you know, I guess me can go vote then. Some people vote because of family tradition, because this a yard yeah, and this a color, and that's how we vote. They're not voting for any other reason really, just because of family tradition. And some people vote on policies. Some people vote on what they see the specific party doing, or what they think the specific party can do for the development of the country. I'm of the view that those voters are in the minority. Those voters who vote on policies and what they think is best for Jamaica, I think they fall within the minority. However, it is very important that we hold our representatives accountable, because there's no way, and I've had persons on this program before who don't even know who the MP or the councillor for where they live is. But there is no way you should be living somewhere, driving on roads, you have children in the area, and you don't know who is responsible for certain infrastructural developments in your community. There's no way you should be living somewhere and you don't know that. But as I said before, people vote for different reasons, and some people don't vote at all for whatever reason. Some people don't vote because they don't see the reason to. A lot of people say, nah, make a difference. Twice side them bad. It don't make sense to vote for nobody. Some people are of that view, and so they don't vote. But I say to those people, not because they never vote, I mean you must know who is representing you. Because vote or don't vote, there will be an MP. So you can't just sit down there and say, there is an MP. If you vote or don't vote, there will be a representative. You know, I'm not really like going into politics, so let's take a break and come back with more.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:46.
Some dreamers picture a place they call home, a house with no mortgage, a home that they own. Some dream of owning their very own store, meet a cafe or florist, or growing one into more. Where one dreams of making luxury shopping the norm, others dream of sports cars, the kind that perform. But one thing in common these dreamers all need is to build their wealth so they can achieve.
Never settle for less than your dreams with Sagicor Investments. Call 888-SAGICOR to speak with a wealth advisor.
Jamaica! Get your tickets now for Arise 2025, the music celebration, and join the gathering with the Hoppers, Gospel Proclaimers, Rhoda Isabella, Carrie Sales, and others at the National Arena, Easter Sunday, April 20 at 5 p.m. Group of 15, 6,000 per person. General 6,500 and VIP 9,500. Available at Source of Light Music Mart, SpurOpen.com/Arise 2025. Bring the family as we celebrate with the Hoppers. One awesome evening.
They say we evolve to create a legacy, but we evolve to extend ours, carving out a new path in our journey for excellence. Hello! Can I let you in on a little secret? Well, it's a big one. Health Branch Jamaica is now Aventa Jamaica. Yes, you heard right. We are now Aventa Jamaica. Same excellent product, service, and people. Just a different name. Always remember our brands: Bicoplex, Histel Dica, and more. Welcome to Aventa Jamaica, part of the Agostini Group.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Norgay Banton. We're taking your calls, and I'm going to go back to the phone lines now. Levy, good morning.
Good morning, Nora. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. The little while now I don't talk to you.
All right. Welcome back.
All right. Yeah, man. All right. I have a little concern here. So I'm not the one who take bus. I don't take bus because I drive.
Mm-hmm.
But I always notice, Nora, I'm down parade there.
Mm-hmm.
Why they can't put a little shed right on the media? Like, the bus be there.
I'm right there with you, Levy. Yes.
Right. Why they can't put a little shed like right on the media and in the place? Like a small one just for shade of sun or little drizzle or rain.
I agree with you. As a matter of fact, I think there should be from the sidewalk, the first sidewalk, all the way to the one at the end on both sides. Because you have the section with the Portmore Spanish Town buses, and you have the other section where the buses where go east. Yeah, so you have the buses where go Arbor View, Mountain View, those sides is August Town. So I think no man, I'm right there with you, man, Levy. I'm right there with you. Because in the night, of course it's not bad because there's no sun out. But in the daytime, if you are waiting on a bus and you are standing where you should be standing, trust me, man, sun kill you.
Yes, man. Last time I pass and like I see the people living at the sun stand up and no bus standing on.
Yeah.
No God.
And then if you move from the area and go stand up probably under the big tree, for example, you run the risk of when the bus come, who is standing in the sun, getting in and full, and all the other people them are run from all over the other place, and you possibly not get in because the bus might full before you get for reach in.
You're right. Yeah, man, I think they should do something about it.
Trust me.
I'm not telling them, I'm not take bus, but I feel the people.
Yes.
Believe me, in the sun hot.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes I pass on the like I say 1, 2 o'clock them telling no bus on the stand. I say, but no bus on the stand.
Yeah.
No bus, I mean no bus, mean no yellow bus.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I say, look like a schedule not right or something. I don't know.
Well,
man, if you do something about that, they can't have the people in front of
Levy, thank you so much for that. And I add my voice 100% to that call. I'm gonna use the opportunity, like how you bring it up, to call the mayor of Kingston, Mayor Andrew Swaby, who I must say quickly, I think has been doing a good job at development in and around Kingston and St. Andrew. I saw him the other day at the renovation of the Papine Market, and he's been doing many other little projects and activities, and I must use the opportunity to commend the Mayor of Kingston, Mayor Andrew Swaby, for the work that he's doing. I've seen it. He's very visible, and I see the work. Absolutely. And so, yes, man. And I'm gonna add to your list, Mayor Swaby, the bus, the parade, east and west. I saw them name. East and West Parade are not. East,
South and North.
South, North and South Parade. Yes.
North and
South Parade. Yeah, man. Those bus bays need shelter. Need shelter.
Yeah, man. I want a little more thing before you go. No, just a few seconds. The street light. The street light on Surfers Glasspool from cement company of this go to the roundabout and then from DQ going down the other. Boy, the light them now work and they recently put up all even the highway going to Bull Bay there. Not for the light them now work, Nora.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's as a result of theft because you know that's a problem too. When the street light them new, them go up there, go thief what them need for thief out there and whatever them thief out of the light that make it don't work. That's another problem that the JPS is facing, theft. So I don't know if that's the reason, especially since they were recently put there. So but that's another one, JPS, Sir Florizel Glasspool Highway. It's really dark at night. I that's true. And so yeah.
It's dark at night, man. If you break down, you don't have a little light or so. I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
It's dark. Yeah, man. You have 1 and 2 lights are working, but them far apart.
Yes,
so
that's true.
the place dark. All right, no.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thank you for calling, Levy. Take care.
You're welcome. No problem.
No problem. William, good morning.
Good morning, Miss B.
How are you? Good morning. Yes, go ahead.
Well, giving thanks. I want you to help me with something here. This morning, George was interviewed this gentleman from the tax office. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he said if you want to get information, you can call 888 tax. What? Tax help.
Mm-hmm.
So, a person like me and a lot of us who blind us, when you just tell us 888 tax help, what do you do from there now?
I mean, I understand, William. You can either ask somebody to assist you with the numbers that result that lead you to dial tax help, or you could simply call the station, call the front desk, and just ask them to clarify what the number is.
But I don't have a number. I don't have a number for the tax office at all.
And you can't find that anywhere?
Well, it depends on the time when we might want it. If we want it now, me alone is here. What more do?
Yeah, and I understand that, William, but I don't think. Yeah, man, and I don't think it's such a major problem. I don't think. That's
not to you.
No, William, hold on. Just like what I'm saying to you is, all right, you heard it on Nationwide, and you are unable to see. I understand, so you don't know which numbers spell out help, tax help. Right? That's your concern, right?
Yeah, man.
And so you're unable to dial the number that they are saying.
The finish,
right? 888. No. Just like how you called us here, you could call and just speak directly to Michelle and say, Michelle, I want to call the tax office, but I don't know which number spell out help. You can assist me there? And I'm sure Michelle would have no problem with telling you that tax help is 829-4357.
And
it's a simple thing.
Hold on. Away from me now. Other people in my position who might be not even no nationwide number.
Sure.
What them would do?
Ask someone around you. If there's no one around you at the time, just wait until if you have a neighbor you can knock up and say, hey, just help me with this number here, please. I'm sure people aren't that difficult. If you have a relative around you, help me with this number here, please. If there's somebody number that you know out of your head, call them and say, hey, me I try call tax office, but me only know the number tax help. You can just tell me what spell out which number spell out tax help, please, and you get it and you memorize it and you dial it in. It's not that difficult, William. I'm gonna disagree with you on this one.
No, you can disagree because you are not in our position.
And I just gave 3 solutions, William. Yeah, but 3 solutions.
Those solutions would never help fully.
Why? Why would they not help?
Because you don't really understand us, Miss B.
William,
I understand.
In
everything
your
that you say.
case, William, and I'm not here trying to be ableist. I'm not here trying to discriminate against disabled people. What I'm saying, William, is please listen. You have a problem with the fact that they only said tax help. And I understand. Because you are unable to see, you don't know. You can't just look at your phone and say, oh, T a 8, A a 2, X a 9. You can't do that. Right? And I said, you heard it on Nationwide, so you could call us and ask for assistance. For persons who didn't hear it on Nationwide, they heard it on Nationwide, but they don't know Nationwide numbers to call, they could, if they have any relatives around them, ask. Just can you assist me with what numbers spell out tax help, please? And I'm sure somebody could be able to assist. If there's nobody around at the time, I'm sure they have their relatives' numbers. Call somebody and say, hey, I'm trying to call tax office, but I only know that the number is tax help. Help me out with the numbers that spell out help, please.
Anyhow, quick on the JUTC.
Okay. Go ahead, William. Go ahead.
I went downtown yesterday and I struggled all the way from Big Tree to go around by East Parade now to pop up my card. More than likely go around there. The whole place lock up.
You went where?
East Parade, JUTC office to top up my card. And it just lock up and we have never been yesterday.
Yesterday you went at what time?
I went little after 10, something going up to 11.
And it was closed?
Other people just stand up. All lady from Spanish told me and she walk.
Did they
come back around. Nobody feel talk to it, just close up. And no one.
Okay. And did you try to find out why it was closed? Was any JUTC worker close by or any of the drivers who could tell you why the
No one at all. That in the bus went to park up by Water, no bus at all wasn't there and nothing. Just the empty
and
place.
No JUTC worker was nearby or in the area?
Not there. Over by, at least when I think until when we go back round, the bus was to me going to take on go that driver. I never asked her nothing because she first thing she told me she don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure why it was closed, but we are up at 10 o'clock, William, so we're going to have to go.
Okay.
All right, take care. That's all the time we have for the Consumer Hour this morning. Making way now for Cliff Hughes Online.
That was the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton. The Universal Service Fund is helping Jamaicans stay connected with free Wi-Fi spots across the island. Visit usf.gov.jm to find a location near you. The time by the Universal Service Fund, bridging the information gap. Internet access for everyone is
10 o'clock.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255. Or find us on Facebook at Nationwide News Network and follow us on Twitter at Cliff Nationwide. You can also listen to Cliff Hughes online live on the World Wide Web at nationwideradiojm.com or via the Nationwide 90 FM app on your mobile phone. Now, here's your host, Tyrone Reed.
Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Cliff Hughes Online. It's a Thursday, April 10. Good to be with you. Thank God for another day, We give thanks that we are here. Good morning to you if you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and of course 90.9. Good morning to you. And if you are over there listening on the NNN app or via the website, a very good morning to you as well. Pleasant morning to you. And if you are over there as a part of our very growing and vibrant YouTube community, we want to say a special good morning to you as well. There's lots of heavy lifting to do this morning. So let's get to work now.
Tyrone Says what's on his mind. Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Welcome back. Thank you kindly for choosing Nationwide 90 FM this morning. The program is Cliff Hughes Online, and of course, I'm filling in for the occasionally erudite Cliff Hughes, who is off getting some much needed rest as he mends. Good morning to you, Sir Cliff. Good morning to you, Melissa Williams. We see you, Albert Morgan, over there on our YouTube channel. Juliet Sanchez, one who is usually in the naughty corner. Good morning to you, Juliet Sanchez. Can't let her out the naughty corner too soon, She always gives trouble, so I have to put her back there. Matthew Smith Barrett, my brother, fellow Ardenite. Good to see you, bro. He says, blessings to the sometimes erudite. I wouldn't even put sometimes, my brother. Not really erudite at all. Daisha Reed, just a little youth from Marvel, whom the most has been good to. Annette Allen, good morning to you as well. Good morning to you. Howard Irving, we see you. Lamar Virgo, Everblessed 365, Andrew Favorable, Leonard Seville, Booker T, Errol Townsend, Merlin Fitt, Delroy Levy. Simone, good morning to you as well. MS, Sweetie, YR, Cornell Elvie. We see all of you. Boy, the names are so many. Shane Mark, I see you as well. Good morning to you, my brother. Bless up yourself, And to all of the in the streets folks, Anglo no bangle, as we say in the streets. But let's get to work now. In the newscast, you would have heard that the shakeup in the leadership ranks of the Integrity Commission appears set to continue with the confirmed departure of Director of Corruption Prosecution, Keisha Prince Kamika. Now, Prince Kamika's post has been publicly advertised by the Commission. Her 3-year contract with the anti-corruption body came to an end last month. It's understood it will not be renewed. Now, there are things making the rounds, yeah, and I don't know how some of these folks got my WhatsApp number, but I'm even getting messages on WhatsApp making all kinds of claims I will not repeat here because I have not been able to verify them. But there are claims making the rounds about this situation. But here's what we know as a news agency. Siobhan Campbell has our report.
Responding to queries from Nationwide News, newly appointed chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick, confirmed that Prince Kamika's contract had come to an end. The chairman declined to say whether Prince Kamika had reapplied for her post. Lawrence Beswick would only say the name of the successful candidate will be published once a decision has been made. Well-placed sources have indicated to Nationwide News that the now former Director of Corruption Prosecution had faced significant pressures from within the organization over prosecuting decisions she made during her tenure. It's understood she was specifically told not to reapply to the position. Prince Kamika presided over the high-profile decision not to charge Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness following 2 recommendations from the Commission's Director of Investigations, Kevon Stevenson, that the head of the government be charged in 2 separate matters. On both occasions, Prince Kamika declined to initiate prosecution proceedings, finding there was no case in law for Holness to answer. Those decisions reportedly earned her the ire of certain officials within the anti-corruption body. Prince Kamika was appointed to her post in March 2020. The Director of Corruption Prosecution is one of the statutory directors established under the Integrity Commission Act. Subject to the powers of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Commission's Director of Corruption Prosecution makes determinations as to whether to bring a case against any person implicated in corruption by the body's Director of Investigations. Prince's exit comes on the heels of the departure of the Commission's former chairman, retired Justice Seymour Panton. Commissioner Eric Crawford also recently left the body. Governor General Sir Patrick Allen recently appointed retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick and former Governor of the Bank of Jamaica Brian Winter to replace them. Lawrence Beswick has also been appointed the Commission's new chairman. At least 2 other statutory directors will see their contracts come to an end in the coming months. When contacted, Nationwide News was informed by the Commission that Ranif Lawrence is currently acting in the position of Director of Corruption Prosecution. No information was provided as to the fate of Mrs. Prince Kamika. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Thank you very much for that report there, Siobhan Campbell. Now, a number of things concerning this Integrity Commission matter. I'm on record as saying when the time came for conversations to be had for the renewal or not of the now former chairman. And I made the argument here that what would be best for the Integrity Commission was for the Integrity Commission to go in another direction and appoint a new chairman. And that has happened. They retired, and I'm not suggesting they did it because I said so, not at all. But I think it's what is best for the Integrity Commission. And what is best for the Integrity Commission is what's best for Jamaica. Because there are a lot of you, who are talking out of that, talking all kinds of things out of the holes in your faces about dismantling the Integrity Commission. Absolutely not. The Integrity Commission is needed. We have a corruption problem in this country, and we've long had a corruption problem. It didn't begin with the Holness administration, but it would only serve Jamaica if it could end with the Holness administration. But we do have a corruption problem in this country, and the Integrity Commission is needed. So the appointment of Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick, who is now functioning as the chairman of the Integrity Commission, is what's best. Now, this is not an indictment on the performance of Mrs. Prince Kamika. who is Keisha Prince Kamika, pardon me, who formerly held the post as Director of Corruption Prosecution at the Integrity Commission. But the truth is, and I make the same point here going forward, that it perhaps is best if we, in an attempt to preserve the integrity of the Integrity Commission, that we appoint new people to the roles as they become vacant. Because as important as the Integrity Commission is, what we can't afford to do is to create any sacred cows. People who are of the view that they can't be removed in the interest of what's best for the country. The politicians will face the poll and the people of Jamaica will decide whether or not they want the Holness administration to continue or whether or not they will choose the People's National Party to form the next government. That is in the hand of the people of Jamaica. And as it now stands, the Integrity Commission, by virtue of its own actions, has questions to answer. And the new chairman, retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick, has her work cut out for her. And those other posts that will come up for renewal. Yes, those other posts. As we mentioned in our reportage, at least 2 other statutory directors will see their contracts come to an end in the coming months. Again, it perhaps would be best for the Integrity Commission to go in another direction and to appoint capable people. Can any of us argue that Governor General Sir Patrick Allen appointing retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick and former Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Brian Winter, to replace the 2 outgoing commissioners? Can we make an argument that these 2 Jamaicans are not qualified to operate in the positions as commissioners of the Integrity Commission? I doubt any of us could reasonably make that argument. Too much has transpired that raises questions about how the Integrity Commission has been functioning for us to continue as is. Missteps have been made on the part of the Integrity Commission based on the people who now sit in those offices. And if we want the Integrity Commission to achieve what it has been set out to achieve, its mandate in law, it perhaps is best if the Commission is taken in another direction. Yes? And, I see Okina Robinson on our YouTube saying he's tired of me. Too politically correct for me. Imagine that. Imagine having an issue with someone who is attempting to be balanced. You blindly partisan folks, you are part of what is wrong with this country. I keep repeating that. You are so blindly partisan that you are part of what is wrong with this country. But before I throw to the break, there is another point I wanted to address, because it is according to our reporting, it's understood that Prince Kamika was specifically told not to reapply for the position. I would want to find out if that is true. Was she told that? And according to our reportage, Prince Kamika presided over the high-profile decision not to charge Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness following 2 recommendations from the Commission's Director of Investigations, Kevon Stevenson, that the head of government be charged in 2 separate matters. On both occasions, according to our reportage, Prince Kamika declined to initiate prosecution proceedings, finding there was no case in law for Holness to answer. Those decisions, according to our reporting, reportedly earned her the ire of certain officials within the anti-corruption body. If that is so, who are those officials? Shouldn't Miss Prince Kamika be allowed to, on a matter of law, make the decisions according to the law without being influenced by anyone? Did this really happen? Or is this fairy tale? Those are questions that I would suppose the new chairman should acquaint herself with. But I think it is best for the Integrity Commission that we, not to scrap and start all over again, Cheryl Griffiths, but these sensitive posts within the organizations and those that have come into conflict publicly and where we've seen the missteps, for example, and I have a lot of respect for Greg Christie, but I do think his role as executive director is untenable. And I have a lot of respect for Greg Christie. And when the story of Greg Christie is written, he would have been seen, in my opinion, as a net gain to the country's anti-corruption fight. I remember his work as contractor general, yeoman service he gave. But he has made some missteps as executive director of the Integrity Commission that I think has rendered his role untenable. And that's just me as a Jamaican looking on. We've gone past the break. When we come back, we'll talk some more about the Integrity Commission and the other items in the news. Soon come.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock.
The Time brought to you by the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. Fueling growth everywhere is
18.
Access property sales data for Jamaica through the National Land Agency's JAMPROP application. The temperature by the NLA is
30 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston and 28 out west in the tourism mecca of Montego Bay.
Maxfield Bakery, breads and buns and
Maxfield Bakery for breads and buns and bullets too. It's Maxfield Bakery for the best Easter bun, you know that's
Maxfield Easter bun, the juicy fruity Easter bun. Order online and send abroad at maxfieldbakery.com or call Maxfield Bakery at 926-2160 or 929-3897 and get yours before they're done. Scatter says so.
Great news, St. Thomas. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company is now in your parish, bringing safe, reliable, and affordable transportation right across your doorstep. We understand the challenges citizens face in the rural communities, and this is why the government is working hard to provide ease of transportation to all citizens across Jamaica. With easy-to-access routes, we can now travel comfortably to Kingston and beyond. No more long wait and travel time. We have more travel options. St. Thomas, your journey just got better. Ride with JUTC. Safe, reliable, and affordable transportation for all.
Well, I'm very comfortable.
A long time St. Thomas did a bus route like this.
Easier and cheaper.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Tyrone Says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. The program is Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tyrone Reid, sitting in for Cliff Hughes. And the station is Nationwide 90 FM. This is where I get to ramble on and share some of my thoughts with you. Not so certain whoever thought that was a good idea, perhaps it's Cliff. I'm not so certain why he thought so. But let me share my thoughts with you nonetheless. Now, this argument that we need to go in another direction for the sake of the Integrity Commission, it's important that I be clear on this. That performance by Justice Seymour Panton when he appeared before Parliament, retired Justice Seymour Panton, rendered his position as the chairman of the authority or of the commission untenable. He displayed such scant disregard for the parliamentarians that I don't think his position could have been he could not have continued. Let me not put it any stronger than that. He could not have continued. What the retired justice delivered in Parliament as someone who is known to be a brilliant jurist, called to the bar many years ago, well respected, was more suited for another bar and not the esteemed bar to which he was called. He could not have continued. Not if we want the Integrity Commission to be viewed by well-thinking Jamaicans as an entity of prestige, because we need Jamaicans to buy into the concept of the Integrity Commission. And we're not asking for these individuals in these sensitive posts within the commission to move on the basis of erring on the side of politicians. Because you know my views about too many of our politicians in this country. We have some decent ones, but some of them we need to get rid of. It's about erring on the side of preserving the prestige, the image of the Integrity Commission. Shirley Augustine says IC needs to go. Absolutely not, Shirley. And I'll make the case here again for the Integrity Commission boss, the executive director that is, to have retweeted an international news article saying that the Prime Minister has been recommended for possible prosecution by the country's anti-corruption body when he was in possession of the ruling of the Director of Corruption Prosecution, clearly stating that the Prime Minister would not face any prosecution or charge, is absolutely unacceptable. It has to be seen as such. It has to be seen as such. They had the whole truth and did not send the whole truth to Parliament and allowed the office of the Prime Minister and the image of the holder of the office to be pilloried. They allowed him to cook, as the young people would say, in the courts. And they knew that this thing was not going to go any further. That cannot be acceptable. And those remarks about ask the government after that incident where one of the officers at the Integrity Commission was attacked and robbed. I believe he was also shot as well. My producer can remind me, I'm getting up in age here. About asking the government when he was asked about what happened. Absolutely, those comments were not judicious at all, and it's not what should come from the executive director of the Integrity Commission. And because of that, those remarks, those missteps, and the misstep involving the Prime Minister not sending all of the information at once to the Parliament and to the public, we ended up with a situation where the IC basically circled the wagon and nothing has come of it. It is not acceptable. And it is for that reason, and in a bid to protect the Integrity Commission from reasonable accusations, it is best that the Integrity Commission goes in another direction. In the meantime, according to our reporters again, The newly appointed chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick, and we wish her all the best in this new role, says she expects parliamentarians to provide solid evidence to back their complaints whenever they launch public attacks against the anti-corruption body. And of course, the Integrity Commission is a commission of Parliament. The chairman was responding to queries from Nationwide News about how she intends to relate to the Parliament now that she's at the helm of the commission. Here's Robian Williams with that report.
The Commission's former chairman, retired Justice Seymour Panton, had a contentious relationship with parliamentarians, often directly rebuking the lawmakers for attacking the country's premier anti-corruption body. MP Everald Warmington has been one of the Commission's most strident critics. In one memorable appearance before a parliamentary committee, Justice Panton openly questioned whether the country's lawmakers had taken leave of their senses. He quipped that he would drink his own water out of fear the water being ingested by legislators may have been somehow contaminated. Those remarks drew the ire of several lawmakers, including Senate President Tom Tavares Finson. Justice Carol Lawrence Beswick has since replaced Panton at the helm of the anti-corruption body. She says she has been using the last 2 months to get a comprehensive understanding of the workings of the commission. Asked how she intended to navigate the relationship with the legislature, Lawrence Beswick noted that she supports the right of lawmakers to respectfully voice their concerns with the work being done by the Integrity Commission. The new chairman noted that where specific matters are of concern to lawmakers, she expects them to bring the evidence to support those concerns. She says such evidence must be clear and unequivocal. Justice Lawrence Beswick says she's committed to ensuring the Commission engages in what she described as respectful communication going forward. She accepts that there's room for improvement in the way the body relates to the public. But the chairman was quick to note that this is not unique to the Integrity Commission. Justice Beswick says the country must be reminded that the Commission, by law, cannot be subject to the direction or control of any person other than the court by way of a judicial review. The chairman says the staff at the Commission are diligently seeking to fulfill the body's mandate under law. Robian Williams for Nationwide News.
Thank you very much for the report there, Robian. I want to focus my comments on this. Quite frankly, I agree with the new chairman, retired Justice Lawrence Beswick. And I want to focus my comments here on this particular item that she has highlighted. In our report, it said the new chairman noted that where specific matters are of concern to lawmakers, she expects them to bring the evidence to support those claims. Fair point by the new chairman of the Integrity Commission. Politicians can't just go out and seek to lambast the Integrity Commission on the basis of innuendo. The position they hold requires further and better particulars in the event that they're going to be accusing the Integrity Commission. Because you can't seem to be, trying to damage the esteem of the Integrity Commission in the eyes of the public simply because you don't want the public to take seriously the reports coming out of the Integrity Commission. That can't be the reason for doing it. Justice Lawrence also said that Justice Lawrence Beswick, says she's committed to ensuring the Commission engages in what she described as respectful communication going forward. Absolutely necessary, especially after that display by the former chairman of the Commission. She accepts that there's room for improvement in the way the body relates to the public, and we hope to see that. And I might just jump on here and add that I hope that she will continue to push to remove that gag clause as well and allow the Integrity Commission to communicate with the public that it serves. It's a commission of Parliament, but it serves the people of Jamaica in this fight against corruption. They should be able to come to the public and talk to us about the issues that they're looking at. This attempt at politicians to protect their own image or reputation above the fight against corruption. I don't buy that argument, you know. I do not buy that argument. Yes, people are entitled to their reputation, but I do not believe in erring on the side of seeking to preserve the reputation of politicians by hiding investigations or telling this entity can't speak on who they're investigating. How do we know if the information comes public? People with additional information might be able to approach the Integrity Commission. We must err on the side of the fight against corruption. And you can't fight corruption in the dark. You must expose it to transparency. Expose it to the full view of the public. I support that 1,000%. And that is why I support the removal of this gag clause. We've gone past our next break. Let's take the break now. Let's take the break and come back with more.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness works to ensure the provision of quality health services and promotes healthy lifestyles and environmental practices for all Jamaicans. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is...
It's 10:33.
Eclipse Enterprise is your go-to source for billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. Telephone 876-960-3891. The temperature by Eclipse Enterprise is...
The temperatures are holding firm, still 30 degrees out in capital city Kingston and 28 out west in the tourism mecca of Montego Bay.
Commercial spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
UDC for you.
Jamaica! Get your tickets now for Arise 2025, the music celebration, and join the gathering with the Hoppers, Gospel Proclaimers, Rhoda Isabella, Carey Sales, and others at the National Arena, Easter Sunday, April 20 at 5 p.m. Group of 15, 6,000 per person. General 6,500 and VIP 9,500. Available at Source of Light Music Mart, SpurOpen.com/Arise 2025. Bring the family as we celebrate with the Hoppers. One awesome evening.
Some dreamers picture a place they call home, a house with no mortgage, a home that they own. Some dream of owning their very own store, meet a cafe or florist, or growing one into more. Where one dreams of making luxury shopping the norm, others dream of sports cars, the kind that perform. But one thing in common these dreamers all need is to build their wealth so they can achieve.
Never settle for less than your dreams with Sagicor Investments. Call 888-SAGICOR to speak with a wealth advisor.
Tyrone Says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose.
Welcome back. Thank you so very much for staying with us. Before I move on to the next item of news, there are about 2 or 3 other quick comments I want to share, and then we'll take your calls. 876-630-9371 or 876-618-8255. Now, Mirella Josiah, or I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, pardon me if I'm not, on our YouTube channel says, Tyrone, I strongly disagree with you. You know that once they call someone's name, their reputation is tarnished. You know what I want you to tell me, Mirella Jose, how many politicians have been so irreparably harmed, their reputation, that they have not been able to mount or enjoy a successful political career, who have been investigated and the matter has been publicly declared? I want you to name all of the politicians who have been so harmed by the announcement of an investigation into their actions. I want you to tell me how many times, what is the percentage or the probability that our politicians will be so irreparably harmed by the public declaration of an investigation? I want you to tell me. Or is it a straw man that we are setting up? Yeah? Or led by our politicians to give themselves protection? What if it's an ordinary person who is being investigated by the police and people are being named as persons of interest and so on? And politicians ought to enjoy a greater protection than the ordinary citizen. I can't lend support to it, Mirella. Just I wait on the response. Now, I want to say with regards to the Transport Minister Darrell Vaz saying the government's overhaul of the certificate of fitness for motor vehicles will be completed in the next 3 months, and we should hold the Transport Minister to this. Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced the measure, which I thought was a brilliant measure. It's a part of what I described as a thinking person's budget that the Prime Minister delivered. Yeah, he delivered it in March. Listen to what Darrell Vaz has to say for those motor vehicle owners. And you know the challenges with renewing the certificate of fitness and whatnot. Let's listen to what Darrell Vaz had to say.
A multi-agency team led by my ministry to determine the steps and actions to be taken to implement the policy change. In addition, provisions are to be made for motorists to license their vehicles for up to 2 years at a time. The team is working on a technology solution to integrate the fitness and registration systems, enabling the Jamaica Constabulary Force to access all necessary vehicle information via the license plate. This will require amendments to the road traffic regulations to give effect to these changes. The projected implementation time for this is within the next 2 to 3 months. Between June and July is what I have mandated my permanent secretary.
Listeners and viewers, you might recall that Dr. Holness, the Prime Minister, announced that the first certificate of fitness for new motor vehicles will be issued for 5 years instead of 1. The measures form part of the government's streamlining processes for efficiency and economic development. Speed. You know, this Holness administration is in love with the acronyms, the initialisms. Minister Vaz clarified that that legislative changes to facilitate the transition are being finalized. And he also mentioned that there wouldn't be any additional costs to the motoring public. Let's have a listen.
It is important to clarify that contrary to some media and social media reports, the policy position announced by the Prime Minister does not currently exist in our legislation. Existing provisions allow 6 months for commercial vehicles and a maximum of 2 years for all other vehicles. Let me again, for clarity, state that there will be no fee increase in this policy change. So the extension of the time for your registration and your certificate of fitness will not come at an additional cost.
Important tidbit there at the end. It will not come at an additional cost. Darrell Vaz there, the Minister of Transport. The other item of news I want to comment on before we start taking your calls is the human rights lobby group, Jamaicans for Justice, has expressed concerns over reports that some police and soldiers have been observed wearing masks and balaclavas while on duty. JFJ Executive Director Michael Jackson says the coverings are making it more difficult for civilians, to reliably distinguish lawful personnel from potential imposters.
We have received in excess of about 20 complaints from citizens, and we have also made observations ourselves here at JFJ about JDF officers and police officers wearing both masks and balaclavas in public spaces. For example, routine spot check. It is very difficult for you to discern the badges, the numbers, or any other identifiers. In some instances, you may see a parked police vehicle close by, but what we're saying is that that is not enough, and you should not have a situation where an officer is out in public conducting their duties and then you're unable to see the badge number or a name for that officer. We have had situations of criminals and other imposters who are dressing like law enforcement officers.
The group is calling for the leadership of the JCF and the JDF to publicly disclose any protocols concerning the wearing of masks and balaclavas during general public duties, as well as planned or tactical operations. It says where protocols exist, they must be strengthened to mandate visible identifiers and document operational necessity. Ms. Jackson also notes that the coverings are preventing citizens from reporting incidents of misconduct involving JCF or JDF personnel. She recalls two separate incidents where the wearing of masks jeopardized the accountability of members of the security forces.
There was a 2020 incident within a zone of special operations where we supported an individual who made allegations that JDF officers had beaten him. Unfortunately, we received a ruling from Indicom recently to indicate that they could not make a recommendation for any charges to be laid or any disciplinary actions, in part because at least one JDF officer wore a mask. And if you remember in the Keith Clark case, it was a similar issue wherein the officers were wearing masks.
The voice there of Michael Jackson, Executive Director of JFJ. I must say that the JFJ is being reasonable here. Yes, the JFJ is being reasonable here. And there are two things to consider. Of course, the safety of the police personnel, especially on certain tactical missions, has to be considered. The police men and women, the men and women of the constabulary and the men and women of the JDF are taken from the very same communities affected by crime and violence across the length and breadth of Jamaica. So we understand the need to protect their identity. Yes, and sometimes some of them may try to disguise their faces. But this issue of the badge number should be so visibly displayed. The identifying markers should be so visible that if they are having an encounter with a member of the public, that member of the public should be able to say it is person who wore badge number so-and-so, or that they should be able to identify them. It can't be acceptable that there is interaction with the public and the public can't identify who is interacting with them. I understand it, we can't bury our heads in the sand. This policing in Jamaica is serious work. We've seen policemen being killed, members of the security forces being killed. We understand it. It's not a cakewalk. It's serious work. And sometimes they don't want their faces to be seen, especially if they have to traverse some of those communities. But those badge numbers should be visible. And the other thing I want to point out is this. We can't assume that every member of the JCF means well. We would do that at our own peril. And so we should be able to identify them. The public is entitled to that. So I must side with the JFJ on this one. It's a reasonable call on behalf of Michael Jackson and the JFJ and the leaders of the various security groupings, the JCF and the JDF, should definitely make a public statement on this issue. And their members should be spoken to. I gather if you listen to the interview on Nationwide this morning, spoke of a case, she may have touched on it in that final clip we played, where someone was said, made an accusation about being abused by members of the security forces. Couldn't identify them because they were all covered up. And nothing came of it. That is not acceptable. Absolutely not acceptable. Not in a functional democracy. The final thing I want to comment on is, and perhaps I'll do it later on in the program, because I wanted to offer some comments about this latest road program that the government is announcing. I really just have, there's just one thing I wanted to say. While I listened to Robert Morgan on Nationwide this morning, I think it was yesterday, I was just thinking to myself, just quit with all these names, the Reach and the other one there, I can't recall it now. And just fix the roads, man, and fix them properly. Yeah? Not too interested in all of these names. Just get the roadworks done, man. We'll take the break right here and come back with your cause.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light.
The Ministry of Justice offers free counseling to victims of crime. Call 876-946-0663. The time by the Ministry of Justice is...
It's 10:47.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes.
Watch out.
Protect yourself.
What is the
For more
TV?
information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or
Here ya,
scan
baby.
the QR code on screen.
Deepfake. No deepfake can't catch me.
Junior, you know say AI can make something will look and sound just like you? One day Junior get a voice note from her granny. Say the food done, the medication done, and she need money urgently.
Need money urgently? But Miss Pat no like ask people for things.
And as so comes, Judy get suspicious.
So what she do?
She asks the neighbor to go check pan her. Junior, the lady quite alright over there make her Sunday dinner.
So the voice note a deepfake?
Yes, my love. Come, your food ready.
Right now it look like we have to outsmart the AI. But wait. I really want dege dumpling here, give me.
Me I wonder if AI can make one deep fake dumpling for you.
To learn more about deepfakes, visit www.broadcastingcommission.org.
This is a public advisory. On Sunday, April 13, 2025, the Mayor's Parlor will start at 12:30 and end at 6 p.m. We do apologize for any inconvenience caused.
Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online on April 16 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we broadcast the groundbreaking ceremony for the Raintree Commercial Development. Raintree Commercial Complex aligns with UDC's goal of developing urban spaces. On 108 acres at Block 1, it will offer commercial and light industrial opportunities, creating 2,000 short-term and 5,000 long-term jobs, benefiting the Caymanas community. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online on April 16 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for this groundbreaking activity. It's the groundbreaking ceremony for the Raintree Commercial Development. Also catch the live stream on Nationwide's YouTube channel at Nationwide Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with us right here inside Cliff Hughes. And we're working the phone lines now. It's time to hear your thoughts. You've heard enough from me for the morning. The first call online this morning is Willow. Good morning, Mass Willow. How are things with you, man?
Well, may I give thanks to everyone.
How's the little man? How is he doing?
Well, I do good tomorrow, film day, you know.
Yeah, he emerged strong?
Yeah, man, tomorrow I emerge strong, man.
Man, bless up on your earth strong, man, young nephew. Bless up, man. All the best.
Yeah, man. I plan to carry him out tomorrow after school, you know?
Yeah, man. Give him a piece of sugar and spice cake food with it.
Yeah, man. This morning, him asked me, Daddy, you're taking me on my birthday tomorrow. I say, surprise, yes. Man. It's a surprise.
How old will he be tomorrow?
He's going to be, 15 tomorrow.
15. Yeah. My son, big man. My son, big man for you, man. Soon gone off for university, man.
Yeah.
Boy, give thanks. Give thanks.
I'm going to school for consultant there. And he said, Daddy, you know, me was surprised you. Because in Big Brother, it surprised me, because me is a sportsman. I never see them take up sports. But when him start high school, the big one, you see him take up cricket. And cricket was my sports and football. And I see him take up cricket and him play Grace Shield for him school. I made a book.
Nice.
And
Nice.
me hear him say now, say, he must start cricket training. Me say, look like say it run through the blood.
Big bats, you know?
Yeah.
That's good, man.
All under, bat and ball. Very good.
Yeah, that's good, man. Happy to hear that, man. Bless up everybody for you.
Yeah, man. Well, Tyrone, when I call you yesterday, I talked to a guy. Right? He come from Eastern Westmoreland. Right? And he's a comrade. A Starbound comrade. So me and him talk. And he must say, boy, he must have a vote. And this time, him say, him transfer him vote already because him live at Kingston here. He say, he saw Westmoreland the other day. And him almost lost. Me say, what you mean he almost lost? Him say, things we him see. My Westmoreland.
Can't recognize the place.
Before. He say, Brethren, I lie, I tell him, say, serious thing. Me I tell him, my brother, things when me see at my Westmoreland never happened before. Him say, PJ born and grow at Westmoreland. And PJ Patterson was the MP down there. And PJ never fix a road or do nothing down there. And Labour right come and I do them work here down there.
That can't be true though, William, man. No, man. Let me say Parson Christian Field Pitney first, man. How is it possible that the former Prime Minister, the winningest Prime Minister in the country's history, didn't fix the roads in his constituency? That can't be true.
The man said the man don't fix something. No.
No, sir. That can't be true, man. As bad as things be, Willie, that can't be true.
When the man said to me, me I said, no, sir, I don't believe you. The man said, serious thing. The man said, he move him vote from Kingston and he go Westmoreland go vote. He say, mother, can go to look for mother, and he say, mother PMP. And he say, mother, she has switched up because she go vote for Labour, right? Now vote for PMP. And she was, him say, and his mother say, they must see if them people are really I go put back PMP in a power down there. Vote for PMP down there. Where all the years PMP are win down there. PMP never do nothing down there. And a Labour right. If you come do something down there, one time Labour right win to show them say things can go on down there. When the man said to me, Tyrone, it surprised me. It surprised me.
See people in the chat agreeing with the person who told you that nothing, never really happened. Well, I don't know. I hear you though. I hear you.
It surprised me, Tyrone, because I got my call if I tell you until I said tomorrow your boy birthday. So
no man, bless him up, man. Bless him up. Yeah, man, Uncle Bangley, Mass Willow.
Yeah, man, and that's one hold the faith. Yeah, man.
You too, man. All right, man. Bless up, man.
All right.
I see all of you people on here saying the former Prime Minister PJ Patterson didn't do anything in Westmoreland. That can't be true, man. Are all of you from Westmoreland? And you know this to be true. You're from the constituency represented for so many years in Parliament. That can't be true. Never fix one road? Come on, man. Nephew, good morning to you. You're up next.
Morning, Tyrone. How you doing, my brother?
We're Triangle Bankley now. How things with you?
Me like how you tell the caller say that can't be true. Not possible. Tyrone, I see the Observer earlier published that the American Friends of Jamaica raised over 650,000 US for Jamaica, 1 million Jamaican for charity and community help. And so this is so lovely, and I see they posted a picture with the Prime Minister there to also in the fundraising for the charity. And I'm so happy about that, Tyrone. Over 100 million Jamaican. Then it leads me to say something else to you, Tyrone. With the uncertainty hanging over the entire world because of Donald Trump, we don't know what next he will take his pen. Well, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was saying the uncertainty is easing somewhat. He has walked back most of those tariff announcements has brought them down to about 10%, I think, except in the case of China. So the markets, the financial markets, are doing better today.
Yes.
He has stepped down somewhat.
Why I mention it in a Tyrone is that with what is happening and we don't know what he may come with tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's for sure.
Do you think it is in the best interest of Jamaica for the Jamaica Labour Party to remain in power because of the uncertainty of...
No, you go like you smart.
No, hold on. I am raising a point with you. Then I expect you to take me through it and try to show me if I right.
Maybe you go like you too smart. That is what I'm going to tell you.
All right. Look at this point. Look at this point.
Hey, nephew, listen me, man. Listen me. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Me no born big here.
No.
You are trying to get me. Hold on, man. Let me see if I read it correctly. You want me to tell you that given the fact that Donald Trump is unstable and he's practicing his disruptive form of diplomacy and international relations and international trade, you want me to say to you whether or not it is wise for the Jamaican people to vote out jail?
No, I don't want you individually to tell me that. I want to prove to you. I want you to say to me, give me your reason why you think so. And then I will use the opportunity to say that based on the track record of the JLP government and the PNP government, where the economy has grown under the Jamaica Labour Party all the time they have been in government, then and with the track record show that the economy has declined significantly under the PNP, then it cannot be in the best interest of Jamaica in time of uncertainty for the PNP to come in power. You understand? And any ordinary Jamaican would have realized that you need a government which will make the economy grow under uncertainty, because the Jamaican people will be suffering more if a PNP come into power with a Donald Trump at the head of the reign of America, and then taxes left, right, and center will eat the Jamaican people under PNP government, and the years of which we experiencing no tax in our budget presentation will disappear and we'll be getting tax. I don't want
You know what I would say, nephew?
Yes.
I have been thinking about this. It's interesting that you actually put it like that. I have actually been thinking that I may say publicly who I think would be best suited to run the country after the next polls. I've been thinking that I should perhaps offer some commentary on that. Because, we have this way with our politics, it is so tribal. It still remains tribal. I mean, we're not shooting and killing each other anymore, thank God for that. But it still remains so tribal to the point where people are still afraid of saying who they're voting for.
That is so.
And I think that is part of I think that we need to. People should be free to publicly say who they voted for and why they voted for them. And that doesn't necessarily mean that if you're an independent but you voted JLP or voted PNP, you should be able to say that. And if you are a card-carrying PNP or a card-carrying JLP, you should also be able to say that. And I was thinking that I should say that as it draws closer to the time for the next general elections.
I wouldn't mind if you take the break and give me another minute, because you raised a very valid point which I would like to say something about. All right.
No, man, say it now before we go to the break. I'll give you 30 seconds and then we take a break.
Would you agree with me that since Andrew Holness become Prime Minister of Jamaica, that type of politics you have just mentioned, we have seen where Jamaica is drifting away from that type of politics, and our politics is showing a little more love among our one another, even though we still have some way to go. Would you agree with that?
I wouldn't put it to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, though. I think the change started under PJ Patterson and Edward Siaga. The change started there.
You sound very young.
And
You sound very young.
No, but it started there, though. It started there with the establishment of the Electoral Advisory Committee. Do you recall that? That has morphed into the ECJ, the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Didn't it start with the former Prime Ministers Patterson and Siaga?
But
yes,
we are sure.
So, and I'm not suggesting, that the violence didn't continue into the 90s, because I experienced the political violence in the 90s. I'm not suggesting that it didn't continue, because it did. But I'm saying the change started to take shape under Patterson and Mr. Siaga, Mr. Patterson and Siaga, and it has continued. We're still not there yet.
Yes.
We're still not there because some people, you are the vilest thing if you ever, even if it's constructive criticism you offer to their party, they would want to take you out verbally. With their words, and I'm saying we need to depart from that kind of But I have to leave you there, though, nephew.
All right, my brother, we talk.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, man. I appreciate the call. When we come back, we have a few more calls lined up for you. We take the break. This is Cliff Hughes Online. The station is Nationwide 90 FM. We soon come.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light, and I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
Super healthy, super happy. SuperMed located in Kingston, St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary. The time by SuperMed family of pharmacies and Hughes Den Pharmacy is...
It's 4 minutes actually, after 11.
Visit Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore, for all your prescription needs, gifts, personal care, household, and stationery items. The temperature by Marshall's Pharmacy, Greater Portmore is...
It's 31 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston and 28 out west in the tourism mecca of Montego Bay.
Get the inside scoop. Tune in to Budget Bites, a brief breakdown of the 2025 budget presentation by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. It's an informative snapshot of the budget and what it means for you. Don't miss Budget Bites, bite-sized insights into the Prime Minister's vision for Jamaica. Budget Bites, unpacking the budget for you.
Let me give a fair and balanced characterization of the historical development of the Jamaican economy. The PNP, through bad policy decisions, created the second debt crisis. They created the first one as well. The JLP took the first fundamental steps to address the problem. The PNP contributed and built on those steps, and the JLP further built on those steps and completed the reforms. While we acknowledge the work of the PNP in the national effort across administration, any political credit they should get for contributing to the solution is totally wiped out because they are the ones whose bad policy caused the problem in the first place. To their true bipolar nature, the PNP wants to claim paternity after causing the mother, the people, so much hardship. In their last budget presentation, the leader of the opposition and the opposition spokesman on finance disingenuously accused the government of increasing taxes on the people of Jamaica. In the last budget presentation, the leader of the opposition said, since the JLP government came into office, they have more than doubled the annual tax take, increasing it by a massive $190,000 per person. Yet, in his recent budget presentation, this year, the leader of the opposition and the opposition spokesman on finance both claim that the improved performance of tax revenue is due to the tax reform work of the PNP. So we need to ask ourselves, is it the PNP that is responsible for Jamaicans paying more taxes? In the 2023 budget, the leader of the opposition complained that the government was moving too fast to reduce debt. He advocated that we abandon the fiscal responsible path, use $40 billion, in other words, go and party with the rent money that we're supposed to use for debt repayment, to spend on temporary relief. In this budget, when he sees the amazing benefit of reducing the debt to 68%, and the amazing fiscal space that is created for us to actually now sustainably deal with the relief effort, he now comes claiming that the reduction in debt is due to the PNP's faithfulness to fiscal prudence. This reminds me of the classic tale of what we in Jamaica sometimes regretfully call Butler's father, who caused the mother so much pain and then abandons the child. But when the child grows up to be successful, out of the blue they turn up to claim paternity and associate with success. This leader of the opposition is a man of convenience, flip-flopping between prudence and popularity when it suits him. 1 minute he disowns the child of fiscal discipline, and then the next he claims the child of fiscal discipline. The mother remembers the pain of FinSac and the high interest rate policy, the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich, and she knows that she cannot trust this worthless man. So the DNA test was done. The DNA test was done. The results are in. When it comes to 15-year-old fiscal discipline, PNP, you are not the father. Yes, your name call, but it is another Golding that is the father. Jokes aside, this is the first time our debt to GDP ratio is below pre-FinSac levels of the mid-1990s. It has therefore taken us 30 years to undo the damage of the self-inflicted blow of the PNP's economic mismanagement of the 90s. 30 years! Jamaica today has the strongest economy since our independence. We are not going back to the failed policies of the PNP.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us right here inside Cliff Hughes. Before I go back to the phone, I just want to correct for the record that comment about the Electoral Commission. I'm on the ECJ's website, ecj.com.jm, for those who are interested. And it says that the Electoral Commission of Jamaica came into being on December 1, 2006. The commission replaced the Electoral Advisory Committee, EAC, that had been established in 1979. So that would have been under the prime ministership of Michael Manley. Yes, the EAC paved the way for the establishment of the commission, which is now a permanent, independent, and autonomous authority that reports directly to Parliament. The objective of the commission is to safeguard the democratic foundations of Jamaica by enabling eligible electors to elect through free and fair elections, their representatives to govern Jamaica. But the point remains that a lot of heavy lifting that was done during those years of Patterson and Siaga helped to shape and to shift to where we are now in terms of a move away from the political violence. So the point remains, just the when it was introduced, I wanted to correct for the record. All right, let's go back to the phone lines now. Who we have with us now? Richie, good morning. You're up next.
Big up yourself to the Bangle man.
Anglia Banglia, my brother. How things?
Yes, man. May I remind nephew that the workless daddy party the rent money and now land out the victim and trim out the door, out the door, and in the pan road homeless and naked now. May I remember that you're a nephew? Anyway, brethren, question. Do you know if Cliff sent back out the blood that pollsters after the budget?
No, sir. I couldn't answer that question.
Okay, question again. Me then say the British man renouncing dual citizenship. Do you have any facts about it?
Nothing more than I've read in the media, sir.
You read in the media? Nothing more. But I am one of the person who want to get some facts, because I hear them say what are the companies are doing, Gleaner or whatever, publish it. But I want someone to tell me that they see it and this is what is written in it before I believe. I cannot trust that man. We cannot trust that man. So I want somebody to put that.
So the Gleaner isn't someone?
Huh?
The Gleaner isn't someone, as you put it?
No, anybody, whether the Gleaner or the Observer.
Yeah, but the Gleaner has reported that they have seen the documentation.
Yes, but that's what I heard. But what I'm saying, I would love someone to say, yes, I saw it, and this is what is written on it, then I believe.
But who is this nondescript someone that you're talking about, Richie? Which someone? Who is the someone that you want to see?
Either the Gleaner or the Observer publish it. That's what I'm hearing.
Right, and the Gleaner has carried an article on the matter.
Yes, but I want someone to say, yes, I saw it, and this is what is written on it. That is what I want to hear. I want to get facts on it, because if not, I am going to continue to say he does not renounce it.
No, but that would be irresponsible of you, because he has said so. The media has carried it, and better you say, he needs to call a press conference or a media conference and present the documentation to the general public. It's better you say that than to say you're going to continue to say he hasn't done so.
You see, before his budget, I tell Ricardo, I said, tomorrow is the time for him to prove it. And he did not do it. Now after me, you say, he showed somewhere about what about it, and I say, either the Gleaner or the Observer show it. But I'm saying, I want to get facts. And so I stop there. Anyway.
Right. And you can't have facts if you just come out on your own without any evidence to the contrary to say he hasn't. Because do you have evidence that he hasn't?
No, get my point. My what I'm saying.
You're not answering me, Richie. I ask you a simple question. Do you have evidence that he hasn't?
Brethren, I'm saying I don't have evidence, but I say I would not believe until I get facts.
Which is fair. But you can't state to the contrary that he hasn't without having the evidence that he hasn't. I'll read the Gleaner's story after a while, but go ahead. You're saying another point?
It is not happening now. I'm not saying that happened, but I'm saying I want to get facts that it happened. That's my point. I will not believe that it happened until I get facts on it. That's my point. Anyway, brethren, the so-called Integrity Commission is in the news again. Why I call it? It's
not the so-called Integrity Commission. It's the Integrity Commission, sir.
I am calling it so-called Integrity Commission, and I'm going to tell you why. 6 months after they said, and 6 parliamentarians and said by Ellis Gaines, I've been calling on them from that time to name them, and they moved from 6 to 2 to 6 has gone back to 8, and until now it is 1 year and 10 months, and they can't name one of them. And they passed it down to Mark Golding that he had been hammering the Prime Minister that he's one of them.
They passed what down to Mark Golding, sir? You're accusing the Integrity Commission of giving information to Mark Golding? How do you know that to be true?
Get my point.
No, Richie, I'm saying you just said it. No. Stop and let me address it.
Listen what I'm saying to
you. You said, I heard you, Richie.
No, they
Richie, you just said they pass information down to Mark Golding. You just said that. Now you don't have any evidence so you should withdraw that.
Get my point. Mark Golding had been held there.
You should Richie, I'm going to leave it here, Richie. Richie, you cannot just come and accuse the Integrity Commission like that without evidence. What evidence do you have that they gave Mark Golding any information? We have to do better than that, Chid. We have to do better than that, all right? You can call and zealously support your political party, but you can't just try to malign institutions and individuals simply because you're trying to prop up your political party.
I'm going to retract that. You agree with me?
Say what?
I'm going to retract what I said then. And I'm
Good.
going to prove to you what I'm saying. I'm saying now, Mark Golding had been out there hammering the Prime Minister, which it says one of the 86. Why didn't they stop him?
Do you know that the Integrity Commission by law can't name the people until the investigations are complete and a report is sent to the Parliament? Do you know this?
They can't name them?
But do you know that is the law that the politicians pass, that we allow them to pass in this country?
Because of the gag clause.
Yes. So what are you saying now? The politicians need to remove the gag clause? It is causing more harm than it is doing good?
It is not removed, but I'm saying to you, June coming, it is 2 years, and it is time that they name them. They have enough time.
All right, Master Chi. I hear you, Richie. No, I don't agree with you. You've not been judicious this morning, Richie. Not at all. But thank you for the call, though. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one, Richie. We have to move on to another caller. Anthony, good morning. You're up next.
Good morning, Sir Tyrone.
How are you doing, man? Give thanks, man. How things with you?
I'm good, my bangling, man. I learn how to find you, man.
We're trying, we're trying. I don't mean
yes, boy, call him. Get man like me,
That's right.
All right, brother. So, just
please hold the line for me now, Anthony. I think we've gone past the 11:15 break. I'm being told we have to take the break. Can you hold for us?
Yes, sir.
All right, hold the line for us. We'll come back with more after this.
Hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose.
Stop buying expensive toner cartridges. Global Ink is now selling new factory direct generic toners. Remove factory seals, install and print. Engineered to work first time, every time. Certified for use in HP and Brother printers. Worry-free, affordable printing for your peace of mind. Money saved is money earned. We deliver island-wide. 754-7444 or 1-888-NEED INK. Never run out of toner again. Global Ink.
What makes a burrito bond so attractive?
We have a history of strong financial performance and growth, demonstrating resilience.
Our leverage remains low relative to our peers. The bond is available in both Jamaican and US dollars, ranging from tenures between 2 to 10 years at attractive interest rates. Plus, it's expected to be listed, which will enhance liquidity for all investors.
Burrito bonds are burrito strong. Download our prospectus, call a burrito advisor, and invest today.
Phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
Welcome back. This is Cliff Hughes Online. The station is Nationwide 90 FM. Now, I found the Gleaner article online that was published on Saturday, March 22, 2025. It was a Saturday. I wonder if Mark Golding took issue with it being published on a Saturday. But it reads concerning, and the headline is Golding proves UK citizenship renunciation. The subject, opposition leader reveals documents confirming he no longer holds dual citizenship. And it reads, in a bid to finally put to rest the ongoing debate about his citizenship status, opposition leader Mark Golding has disclosed documents from the United Kingdom Home Office confirming his renunciation as a citizen of that country. Documents including a cover letter and an official declaration of renunciation obtained by the gleaner confirmed that Golding ceased being a British citizen, on August 5, 2024. Now, if you want to argue that Mark Golding should come public and share that with the entire public because it was a very public matter, that argument I can entertain. But unless you have evidence to the contrary, we can't keep saying he has not renounced. Are we suggesting that the gleaner isn't reporting the truth? We have to do better than that. All right, Anthony, you're still with us.
Yeah, Tyrone, thank you very much. Three quick things. One, are you hearing me?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Oh, okay, good. Tribal politics that you mentioned earlier, I agree with you that it started with the Honorable P.J. Patterson and the Honorable Edward Seaga. And what P.J. Patterson did was the Values and Attitude Program, which was a very good program, and we need more values and attitude in our society today. But when you fast forward now to more recent times, the tribalism on the stage of the political rhetoric on stage, I think we could give credit to Andrew Holness, who and his party, they are trying hard to change the way they speak on the platforms outside of Parliament, I must say, because inside of Parliament they have the protection, but outside of Parliament, they are the ones who we could credit with that.
So, no, I don't think that was the point the caller was making earlier. He said it began with Prime Minister Andrew Hughes.
Right, so that's why I'm agreeing with you that it began.
Right.
With PJ and Seaga, and then Andrew what Andrew has
the heavy
done.
Lifting.
Yes, a more heavy lifting to try
a lot
to
of the heavy lifting was done under, in terms of moving away from the political violence, was done under the leadership of former Prime Ministers P.J. Patterson and Edward Seaga. And we have been improving on that. We're not where we need to be yet, because some of our people have lost the plot entirely still, but we are trending in the right direction.
That's true, and the way we talk about people and talk to people is very important, and so I can see where there's an effort for that to change. The second quick thing, Sir Tyrone, when you mentioned the acronym that Honorable Robert Nestor Morgan, the new road thing, I sometimes are tired of these acronyms, but then what I really think may happen is, as a matter to give accountability for the procurement process, then it might be necessary to have the acronym for them, because, for example, if for reach a certain amount of funds, that fund was already sent out, and more funds they need to get more funds now. They can't go back and get more funds under reach, but they have to come up with a different thing now to get more funds to do the same thing. So maybe that's it.
Certainly, because especially against the backdrop of this argument that we are looking into the feasibility of establishing a one road authority. I mean, I think that is worthy of further interrogation, and because there are pros and cons. When you centralize everything, it might become a tad more bureaucratic, and which is why we've moved to decentralize things. And if you want to look at the structure in the health sector, where we had one central authority in the Ministry of Health before we moved to the regional health authority structures, right? To basically divvy up the country, as it were, into regional health authorities, and to, just have them manage that, and it should function better. So having everything centralized might be a more bungling bureaucratic thing, but I think it makes sense, because we need to have one authority that owns all the roads. We just have a proper road maintenance, and that is what I'm addressing. We talk about Spark, we talk about Reach. I know we have some other quarterly thing coming, and then there's this issue about how much we've gotten value for money with patching. A lot of Jamaicans don't believe we've been getting value for money with this patching business, and just think we should really just focus on fixing the roads. But he makes a good argument about, not being able to do everything all at once. So you may still have to patch here and there. And I can accept that. That's a reasonable argument. Why not include dispatching under one of the existing programs? Since we are already having this conversation about moving to a one road authority. I'm saying let's just focus on getting the work done as opposed to coming up with various names for things. It's just a point. But that's just
I accept your point and I understand it. Because while we move to the one road authority, then we still need to be doing some work and giving account for the funds. And the final thing though, Sir Tyrone, if I may, there's a song that I am trying to get the name of for a motivational lesson. And I can't find a name. If I may just tell you the words and if some words in it, and if you know it or somebody know it, can call I will listen out for the name of it. The song, some word says, I walked this earth a long time and I've seen them all. I watch the weak arise and I watch the mighty fall. And though they try to rob I lay my every day. This song, and it continues, a song of love, a song of joy, of everything. A treat to make you realize life is real. I'm trying to get the name and the singer for that song to use in a class, but I just can't find it on YouTube.
No, I can't. I can't say I know it. But we have a lot of brilliant people watching with a wealth of knowledge. So I'm sure one of them may hear and tell us what the name of that song is. All
right. Thank you.
So keep listening.
We keep handling our bangles.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, man. Anglia Bangle Mubas. All right. Jamal, good morning. You're up next.
Yeah, Mubas. Morning. Yeah, hear me?
How are you doing, man? Yeah, man. Good morning to you.
I'm not going to stay too long because somebody else can get a chance. Fit? All right, so two little concern now. The other morning I was heading to work around by, Manningsville section. You know, if you're familiar with that area.
Yeah, man. I am.
I saw some police officers doing spot check. I would want to think it's spot check. Anyway, while I coming down, one of them come out in the road and he hold up him man. Right? Hold up him man late though, But anyway, I flash him to make him see him. I'm stop, pull over him. I come to a stop now. Him walk and him come at the car door. You know the regular style. When him come at the car door, I say, morning officer. Up to now, this man don't say morning. The basic common greeting, I say, morning officer. Up to now, this man don't say morning. Right? Him say, you have anything to declare? I say, no, sir. Same time, little daughter who was in the back seat said to him, said, why you stop my father and we didn't do anything wrong? Right? May I expect maybe at that point, seeing a 5-year-old child say that would I get maybe a smile out of the officer or laugh, and may I expect at that point he would have tell me the reason why I'm stopping me. Up to now, him not tell me the reason why I'm stopping me. This is what the officer said to me now. Give me your driver's license and your documents. So, they give it to him. I did that and said to myself, no man, at 6:40, I got to 7. Early morning, you're supposed to probably just start work. You come at the car door, right? And I tell you good morning. Up to now, you don't tell me morning. Right? I say, a child even say something to you. Or she say it, I probably expect to get something out of you. He might probably wake you up and say to you, tell him the reason why you started now. Up to now. You say, give me. That's what the man said to me. Give me your driver's license and your documents. Anyway, I give him check, and him say, everything good. And him said to me, say, have a nice police stopped me before. It's funny. I said, no, something must be wrong with this. So police stopped me before, And the first, police stop you, them come and them say, good afternoon, sir. The reason why I stop you, then give you a reason. Up to now, this man don't give me a reason. I said to myself, so come on, we have to do better than this as a country, man. The most basic common greeting. Nothing wrong with good morning. Nobody not come around to care where police are go through, but you stop me. You're supposed to tell me, you're supposed to give me a reason as to why you stop me. Even if I have a bad day, I can't take it out on you because you stop me. I have to comply with you. That's what the law so for do, right, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the next incident someone want to talk to you about now. I encounter a situation done by the depot. We go for the fitness on the vehicle. You know, when you go to the fitness, you can go online and purchase the feet.
Mm-hmm.
I go online and I purchase the feet. And when I go down by the depot to get the fitness pass on the vehicle, they say to me, say, the receipt for me carry, I show say the receipt used already. So I say, oh, the receipt here show say it used already, and you see the date on the receipt with the reference number, with my TRN number. Right? Them say to me, say, it show say it used already. So I'm sorry, then what I go do in this situation, because I just purchase it. I purchase it about 10:30, I'm reach down at there for about 11 o'clock. I tell me, sorry, receipt them just purchase use. Anyway, them did it, and them have the paper, them have the documents, them and everything. But they did about an hour and a half. Still can't see no word that comes. So I decide to go take up my phone and I go call tax office. When we call tax office now, tax office tell me say the receipt is valid. Probably what they need to do down at the depot is to cross-reference the reference number along with the TRA. When I go back and I say that to the person now, she's like, oh, see it here. We'll find it now. But it used somebody in Savlamar.
What?
The receipt where I bought it Kingston.
That not so normal, my brother.
That not so normal. Listen to me, man.
That sound like something I go on there, somewhere.
So hold on, man. So I said no.
Yeah, hold on there, man. Don't hang up yet, Jamal. Stay with us. We've gone past the break, but we have Aaron and Ian lined up. But let's take the break now. Jamal, can you hold?
Yeah, man. Go on.
All right. Right. We take the break right here on Cliff Hughes Online and come back with more.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
Burn Chuck fried chicken always ready.
Burn Chuck, original crispy. Burn Chuck, Cajun spicy. Burn Chuck, a barbecue. Burn Chuck, we are go a Burn Chuck.
The time brought to you by Birchak Fried Chicken in Kingston, Montego Bay, and Ocho Rios is
11:33.
Some dreamers picture a place they call home, a house with no mortgage, a home that they own. Some dream of owning their very own store, meet a cafe or florist, or growing one into more. Where one dreams of making luxury shopping the norm, others dream of sports cars, the kind that perform. But one thing in common these dreamers all need is to build their wealth so they can achieve.
Never settle for less than your dreams with Sagicor Investments. Call 888-SAGICOR to speak with a wealth advisor.
At Kia, driving your future means joining the movement that inspires. Whether it's the small but mighty Picanto hatchback or the top-of-the-line tech-rich Sorento SUV, there's a Kia that perfectly fits your lifestyle and your budget. ATL Automotive has gotten Jamaicans behind the wheels of thousands of Kias for the past 7 years. And we're ready to get you behind the wheel of a Kia too. Simply visit the nearest Kia showroom for a test drive now.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose.
But thank you so much for staying with us right here inside Cliff Hughes Online. We have Jamal on the phone. Jamal, you're saying you paid for the fitness, and you are being told that it has already been used. That sounds fantastic.
Hear the story now. So when the lady up at the tax office, she was telling me, is a lady up at the tax office, a customer service rep, a very nice. She explained the procedure to me properly. And she was saying that all I had to do is tell them down there to use the reference number on the receipt and match it up against my TRA. That's how they found out that they received, that the reference number was being used in Savlamar or one of them parish there. Apparently, what happened, somebody in Savlamar had to feed them fitness at the same time. And it looked like the rep in Savlamar enter the wrong reference number into the system. In other words, if them should enter 258, I think them enter 259. And the 259 or so what them enter would have been on my receipt in Kingston. So when they try to get in contact with the person or whomever in Savlamar, couldn't get in contact with the person. So I had to buy another. I have to drive the car without documents, and I had to buy another fee the other day. And when I start to make some checks and start to query, I get to realize that things that happened to other people before.
So you had to purchase a whole new fitness?
Yes, that thing. Yes, I had to.
And so no man, not at all, man. No, Jamal, man. Nothing supposed to go like that, man. You paid your money for the fitness fee, and then you ended up having to pay again.
Yep.
No, they should replace it.
We didn't be with that again. We just try to tell us that there are real issues that happen out here. I remember my first time this doing it online, but then I just go to tax office and buy the sum. It's online, I do it. And that happened to me.
So that may be where the glitch is.
Yes.
No. Look, the people at the tax office need to look into it.
Right? But when the man them check it down at the depot, I tell them say Hughes. Some rep in Savlamar enter the wrong number, and the number that they enter belongs to somebody in Kingston. So when them match it up in a them 50-meter show, it say them use.
No, we need to. Can we get someone from the tax office on the program, Lady Nora? Because this sounds like a case that they need to look into. No, you should. If what you're saying is what happened, Jamal, and I'm not saying it's not, you should be reimbursed. Absolutely, you should be reimbursed.
No,
but you've raised, but wouldn't you want the problem to be fixed? Because being able to do these things, honestly, is to the benefit of all of us. What was that?
Yeah, but I kind of at work, so I kind of have to run, but we just have to.
All right, my boss. No, but thank you for raising it. And we definitely should try to talk to the folks at the tax office. Thank you, Jamal. Have a good one, and I appreciate you calling. That definitely needs to be looked into. If we can get someone from the tax office to talk about what is the likelihood or that something of this nature can happen and can happen again. Definitely we'll need to hear from them on this issue. That one sounds rather curious to me. Aaron, good morning. You're up next.
Tyrone. Morning, sir.
Morning, my boss. Anglia Banglema.
Yeah, man, I have two quick little things to say. Never call you, not too long, and I said to you, sir, if the government should have changed and Mark G. win, with a Donald Trump regime, it would have been a problem here. I don't know, joke in the Tyrone.
You are out of view as well.
Yeah, because, let me tell you, Democrat a Labour Party America. I mean, Democrat a PNP Party America. Republic a Labour Party America. So you find at the Labour Party there and the Labour Party there America, it would be a problem to show. You understand?
I hear you.
Yeah, all right. Down at Sablamar, you have to go to Westmoreland. You know, say, Marlon Wilson, when you see them have a race of Sunday come. When win the seat from the tourist minister down there. Them have PNP have that seat for nearly 50 years, Tyrone.
You mean that's the seat formerly held by Wicker McNeil? That's the one you're talking about?
Tyrone. Wicker McNeil seat. Them have it for about nearly 50 years. Liberal couldn't win it. And 2020 Marlon Wilson with it by 500 votes. Now you have the two councillors now where did I get problem over there and then run them, but then come on the Labour Party side and now. So then just leave the man, make the man turn and see it, then I fight the man to see it now, that's what come to contest our go on Sunday.
Isn't that how democracy works, sir?
Yeah, but me feel say the man should have sit down in it. Better him lose it back more than him give them and then still go lose it.
And you think the JLP would agree with that position that you are raising? Run the possibility of losing to see if they should remove someone? That sounds reasonable to you?
Me listen to people. Up to last time I listen to them pan thing that talk the whole time. The man then say, Wilson can't win back the seat. But the PMP man, them no man, then left them party, get trouble, then run them out, then come and live and they come and live and them and get trouble. I three of them, the three turn back down there, no man, the two Miles and the other one and Venice, with them down there, the three of them in a rip down there, brother.
Well, that is for you Labourites to sort out, right? That is not for the wider Jamaica to deal with. That is for you supporters of the JLP to deal with.
Just that me access still, you know.
All right, my boss. I hear you, Master Aaron. Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. I gather all of that will take shape very soon because we're not too far away from the country's next general election. So I'd like to remind our listeners, though, based on, and our viewers on YouTube, based on that call from the gentleman who spoke about the interaction he had with the policeman who stopped him. In June 2013, a report written by the late, great Barbara Gale. Yes, when it comes to court reporting, she was second to none. She wrote in the Gleaner, Supreme Court judges ruled that the police have no power under the Road Traffic Act to arbitrarily stop and search motor vehicles, opening the door for a flood of lawsuits. The police have repeatedly argued that the law gives them the power to stop and search vehicles, and that this has resulted in the apprehension of criminals, the recovery of stolen vehicles and stolen farm produce. But Justice David Batts says the police are abusing this power, is what the story had said. So just wanted to remind people of that. Ian, good morning to you. You're up next.
Morning, Tyrone. How you doing?
Roger Anglo Bangley, how things with you?
Good enough. I listened to that call earlier on regarding the incident by the depot. And, it still leaves some cloudy issues that probably need to find out exactly what went wrong. I could perhaps understand the point where it's probably a clerical error, but then the refund part, no, that I would want to know how was that treated, because I think you should be refunded. But anyway, that was the main reason I called. I want to, first of all, commend the Minister of Transport, Darrell Vaz. Many times Darrell Vaz is come under the microscope, but then when good is being done, you don't hear anyone say much about it. And I believe Darrell Vaz has demonstrated it's one of the toughest ministry, I believe, the Ministry of Transport. And to see the rolling out of those school buses. As a matter of fact, it was last year I was over in the States, and I said, I'd love to see some of these buses driving around picking up our students, and to see it actually happening in Jamaica is actually a good thing. And I believe it will help curb with some of the moral with our young. So because we have to win back the mind of our young people in the town, don't you think?
Absolutely, and the tracking of the buses, parents will be able to in real time tell where their children are via the app. I mean, that's absolutely a great addition to the program. Definitely, the school bus system is needed, in particular in the rural parts.
I wonder if you could have done island-wide for every parish where the students just take their own bus. They're not mingling with the regular public so to start to have a more better management of our children on the road, you know. But again,
if we continue along this path of fiscal prudence, we should be able to afford it. Not certainly if we're able to afford it now. But we did try school buses in the corporate area several years ago, at least when I was a youngster. And you know, but it has to be properly policed, you know. It has to be properly policed and to hold you know, ensure that proper behavior on these buses. And I heard the Prime Minister saying the buses will be an extension of the school, you know. So that means you can be held accountable for your actions there as well. And that is also very important. But no, you're absolutely right. If we can, you know, the school bus system, having a school bus system for students, and if we properly police it and ensure that the people who take the buses, that they are being held to account, you know, absolutely keep them in line. Absolutely it will be a benefit for the country. I have to leave it there though, Mas Ian. I've gone over the break again. I have to leave it there, but thanks for the call, man. Really do appreciate it. All right. We take the break, our final break for the morning session of Cliff Hughes Online. Of course, you know that at the top of the hour, you'll hear the world at noon, and then we'll come back at 12:30. But we take our final break and come back with more of your calls.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright.
Furnitureland at 112 Constant Spring Road is Jamaica's premier furniture retailer when searching for stylish and elegant pieces for your home. The time by Furnitureland is
11:47.
In this uncertain U.S. immigration climate, you need expert guidance you can trust. The Consular Queen LLC handles visas, waivers, petitions, and more, making immigration stress-free. Don't navigate the process alone. Get professional support today. Call 470-593-8448 now. That's 470-593-8448. The Consular Queen. Unite families, change lives. 470-593-8448. Secure your future today.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so very much for staying with us. I just checked over on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, and Dr. Proud Yardman at Chris Pinnock 1. Good morning to you, Chris Pinnock. Asked a very intriguing question. He says, why don't you like at Tyrone Reeds? That's the question he's asking over there on Twitter. I gather he wants people to tell him why they don't like me. That it should be good. I'm looking forward to the responses. Beatrice, good morning to you. How are things?
Good, thanks. Okay.
Good morning to you, Beatrice. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am hearing you. Are you hearing me any better now?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Bless you. Okay, I called earlier and spoke to Nora Gee to try to help me with a title that I applied for from 2023, September.
Mm-hmm.
I have made the application in Mandeville, and the young lady who collected the money and gave me the form, I observed later the form had not been signed by her. The name was there typed, but not signed, nor did I sign it. Anyway, I was asked to sign a second paper sometime July last year, and after I got it stamped by a JP, I brought it to NLA, National Land Agency, after a year had passed, because the lady, Miss Daring, had told me, that's the name of the officer in Mandeville, who had given me the form and collected the money from me. She had told me it would take a year for me to get it. I told my son about the incident, and he told me, people that get it much shorter time than that. Anyway, I worked with the 1 year. When the year was close by, I started to monitor now to see what was happening. And I kept being sent over the place. No, sorry, before that, I had been called and told that they needed a particular paper from me. I said, but why would you need the paper? I gave them the file number for the mother title. Geoland had gotten the mother title for me. I said, you have all the documents there that you should need. They said they can't do any photocopy. They want original. I said, okay, I have no means of getting that to you. So she said, she can get it, but I'd have to pay for it. I have to agree to pay for it. I said, what will it cost? $25,000. I said, listen, I'm not working. I stopped working over 20 years. I don't have that kind of money. All right. Anyway, she called me back and said, if I can pay $18,000. I said, I don't have it at once, but I'll endeavor to. I paid $9,000 to initiate the process, and it was obtained. The document was obtained within a week, I think it was, and I was called back and told it was there. So I paid the $9,000 now in order for the paper to be released to her. Okay? In January this year, the end of January this year, not having received it, that is, the year had gone from September, I went to Kingston to the Geoland office. And when I went there, I asked for the CEO. He said he wasn't in office. I asked for him because when the year had passed, I had his number from the mother title, and I called. I didn't get any answer. I left a voicemail. Once in September, once in October. I left a voice message, and the 2 ticks were there, which indicate that it was read. I didn't get any response. All right. After I went there in January now, I asked for the manager at the office, and a lady came out. After she came out, I asked why my document was at some stamp office or something like that from July. She doesn't know that, and she can't answer that because it's a government office, and she don't know. She can't answer why it's not released from there. Anyway, she brought me in to one Miss Allen, and Miss Allen started to explain what was happening, why I hadn't got it, and so on and so forth. Miss Allen gave me 3 new documents to sign because it was arbitrary that my name was put on the original title as the sole owner of it. I was addressed as the administratrix of it. Okay? All right? And I told her that, or I had my documents. Anyway, there was something else she said to it. She said, well, they had the authority to decide whether or not, it was solely mine or something to that effect. Anyway, I said I agreed, and she stamped that again, asked me to sign, and I signed 3 documents. I said, I need to get a copy of the document, Miss Allen, because I've signed the documents already. I need to get a copy. It has to go to a JP for the JP to stamp it or sign it, something like that. Anyway, she gave me her cell number. So I have been communicating with her. Now, not having gotten anything else, I called the Prime Minister's office where somebody is supposed to be responsible for the land. Because when I called NLA, there was one young lady there who upbraided me for wanting to know which Minister of Government is in charge of National Land Agency. So I called the office now which is under the Prime Minister, they say. And a lady gave my husband a name. And I don't know if she got in touch with Miss Allen, because since then Miss Allen has gotten in touch with me on a number of occasions. The latest thing is that Miss Allen returned 2 documents to me that had already gone to Title's office, gone to the parish council, and stamped, approved by them. It had been done by a commissioned surveyor who has been working forever across the island. And I have no reason to think that he doesn't know what he is doing. He has written on the original document that neither the distances nor the areas with the final document would be the same, would be identical.
So Miss Beatrice.
Yes, sir.
No, I've listened to you detail the issue. So in the final analysis, you've not yet received the title.
No, I have not, and this is 20 months. This is 20th month, and I have not yet received the title.
So what are you hoping for us to do? You want us to get someone from the land agency to look into this matter for you?
Yes, sir, whatever needs to be done, because, 20 months, it should have been done within 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 months, and 20 months.
That's how long the process should take? 2 to 3 months?
2 to 3 months, sir. I got that from the other land agency who used to handle LAMP, and did an excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I got that, and I got it from other real estate people. It should have taken between 2 and 3 months. And 20 months, I don't know. I really can't understand what is going on. I paid up every cent that they asked me to pay. And
you have gone into them, yes? You've gone into them several times.
A number of I've gone into the office down in Mandeville here at least 15 times. And I went into Kingston in January, at the end of January. I don't know what more I can do.
We need someone at the head office of the National Land Agency to tackle this one for you. Hold the line for me, Lady Beatrice. We're going to see if we can put you through to one of the managers at the National Land Agency. We should be able to put you through to someone there. Nora has a lot of contacts in, and her name carries weight. So hold the line for a producer, and she'll try to assist you, all right? We need to do better with delivering service to the public. It's a part of the lack of productivity that is so pervasive across the length and breadth of the government service and Jamaica in general. Yeah, we need to do better with the delivery of government. There's no way it should be taking people more than a year to get a land title. It shouldn't be taking that long. We have to leave it there, though. Thank you, Lady Beatrice. Lady Nora tried to assist you. We have to leave it there for the morning session of Cliff Hughes Online. At the top of the hour, you'll hear the word at noon.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right. Like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me.
Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online on April 16 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we broadcast the groundbreaking ceremony for the Raintree Commercial Development. Raintree Commercial Complex aligns with UDC's goal of developing urban spaces. On 108 acres at Block 1, it will offer commercial and light industrial opportunities, creating 2,000 short-term and 5,000 long-term jobs, benefiting the Caymanas community. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online on April 16 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for this groundbreaking activity. It's the groundbreaking ceremony for the Raintree Commercial Development. Also catch the live stream on Nationwide's YouTube channel at Nationwide Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
This is a public advisory. On Sunday, April 13, 2025, the Mayor's Parlor will start at 12:30 and end at 6 p.m. We do apologize for any inconvenience caused.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
12 o'clock.
The News at Noon teasers are brought to you by AnyBet, your best bet.
It's credible and factual. The World at Noon on Nationwide 90 FM.
Good afternoon, I'm Robianne Williams. Coming up in the world at noon for Thursday, April 10, 2025. Crowds swarm Fontana Waterloo for launch of Rihanna's Fenty Beauty and Fenty Skin product lines. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration prefers upskilling local labor force over importing workers.
As at this point, the strategy and policy of the Jamaican government is to empower our local labor force.
JFJ says visible identifier number counterbalance security concerns raised by citizens. Mario Dean trial adjourned until next Monday following string of delays. In regional news, Trinidad man held for kidnapping UK businessman. In international news, White House confirms U.S. hitting most Chinese goods with 145% tariff. And in sports, Shakir Paris hit a century in for the combined campuses and college in regional 4-day match against Jamaica Scorpions. The details after the break.
The News at Noon teasers were brought to you by AnyBet, your best bet. The Midday News is brought to you by Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Hundreds of Rihanna fans turned out at the official launch of her popular Fenty Beauty and Fenty Skin product lines at Fontana Pharmacy on Waterloo Road in St. Andrew on Thursday. The products are exclusively available at Fontana's Waterloo and Fairview locations. Tonna Thomas attended the event.
The 9 a.m. event saw a buzz of activity from excited Jamaicans who crowded the ground floor of Fontana's Waterloo location to get their hands on products from Rihanna's beauty and skincare line. Security personnel were at both entrances doing crowd control, while beauty and skincare enthusiasts streamed into the location. Several displays dotted the store with Rihanna's cleansers, lip liners and glosses, fat water, blotting powders and body creams, among other products. Among the hundreds who purchased and watched live applications of the products were several content creators, to include YouTuber Petite Sue.
I feel ecstatic, and I just know, I've been speaking about it in my vlogs, like I want the Jamaican girlies to experience it firsthand, not having to broke them neck, but you know, on the website, you know, the tariff and all of them from there, so to be able to walk into Fontana and just pick up a product, amazing, convenient, love it.
Fashion stylist, bootleg rock star, is applauding Fontana for providing greater accessibility to Rihanna's products.
I absolutely love that, because imagine, like, we don't have to wait 2 weeks for shipping. We don't have to fly overseas and go to Sephora to buy it. It's right here. So that is phenomenal. I love that.
Makeup artist Kim credits the Fenty line for its inclusivity.
Is Fenty for just makeup girlies or for all girlies? No, it's for all girls. I mean, the beauty about Fenty products is that they're so easy to use. They're so user-friendly. They're so, like, universal in terms of you can use a lip gloss for a cheek. You can use your foundation and thin it out. You have so much versatility when it comes down to Fenty, and I think it's so approachable.
Among the crowd were other ordinary Jamaicans who described themselves as big fans of Rihanna. One of them, Stephanie, is from St. Andrew.
I'm in my 50s, 56, so I think it just enhances you. You're pretty, but you're a little bit prettier with a little lip gloss and stuff like that. You know, you put on little clothes and everything else and lip gloss and you go. You know, because when I was growing up, we used to have little Vaseline and that was it, you know, so I think that's nice. Yeah.
How do you feel? Are you a little bit disappointed that Rihanna isn't here?
We have a feeling she's coming up, but maybe see her later. Something I got keep and she got there.
Yeah, you're keeping your fingers crossed.
Yeah, man. But you know what? She can't be everywhere, but at least you can know that she's loved and supported right through.
The launch event was hosted by social media influencer Rush Cam. Fontana is set to host its second launch event on Saturday at its Fairview location in Montego Bay, St. James. Tonna Thomas for Nationwide News.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government is keen to empower members of the local labor force, even as business leaders lobby his administration to import workers to fill widening gaps. Dr. Holness was speaking earlier on Thursday at the Outsource Jamaica 2025 conference, now underway in Montego Bay, St. James.
There is a great push by some businesses to allow the structured, I hate to use the term importation of labor, but a structured program in which local businesses can have access to a global labor pool. This is something that is obviously very controversial, but as our economy grows and as it gets stronger and as the skills required to support the businesses become more complex and high-tech, it may very well have to be a consideration. But as at this point, the strategy and policy of the Jamaican government is to empower our local labor force.
Dr. Holness told investors that his administration is committed to providing them with skilled labor to grow their businesses.
In addition to the fiscal support and stability that we give, we must now give even greater support to the development of our human resources to create a steady skill stream to support the development of businesses, particularly global services. And so I want to give the current investors and the investors who are here looking at this jurisdiction the assurance that in the government of Jamaica, you have a strong partner in ensuring that you have the labor force for your business to continue to grow from strength to strength.
Dr. Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says the country must increase its capacity to undertake more large-scale, multi-billion-dollar infrastructure projects. He made that comment on Tuesday while addressing recipients of the National Housing Trust Construction Scholarship.
What I would want to see happening as we invest in more people with the skills, we need to see more firms, more companies emerging. So it's good that you have your individual skills, but you all have to work together collectively as professionals. So we need to see more contractors, because when we use the word contractor, there is almost a very localized view of the contractor, very parochial view of what a contractor does. And, we need to elevate who is the contractor. The contractor is not just a person with a backhoe and a few men working with him with shovels and so forth, and they take on small projects. That's the traditional view. We need people who can operate at enterprise level.
The Prime Minister says the scholarship, which targets areas such as civil engineering and project management, is geared toward improving efficiency in construction.
The government of Jamaica is now at a place where it can make significant investment in infrastructure. From time to time, we see that a large part of the capital budget is returned at the end of the budget year or not utilized. And the reason for that is that for the first time in a long time, the capital budget is outstripping the pace at which we can implement projects. And aside from the regulatory and permitting hurdles that we face, we also face a management challenge for infrastructure.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, says there's no harm for police personnel who have to use face coverings during special operations to wear easily identifiable numbers as part of their tactical gear or uniform. This amid what she says is growing concern among citizens about the widespread use of masks and balaclavas by police personnel during various interactions with members of the public.
In 2011-2012, following the establishment of INDECOM, then INDECOM Commissioner Terence Williams raised similar concerns. And for example, the JDF leadership at the time had responded to Mr. Williams to indicate that because of the type of work that the JDF officers do, you want to make them indistinguishable from each other in the face of criminal actors. Now, we can accept in certain situations that is reasonable. However, what is the harm in ensuring that there is a visible regulation number where you counterbalance that security concern with a citizen who have alleged that a JDF officer, for example, violated his rights?
In a statement on Wednesday, JFJ says the face coverings are making it difficult for civilians to reliably distinguish law enforcement personnel from potential imposters. She says the identifiers are important to assist in those cases where law enforcement personnel face being held accountable for their actions.
Organization working in concert with the INDECOM Remember, it was JFJ's advocacy in part that led to the establishment of an Indicom. So it shows the importance of the organization. And while it is important that we support our law enforcement officer, we equally have to hold them to account. So when I see persons asking certain questions, why we don't make certain comments with criminals and so on, that is not our role. And the moment we start putting our good officers on the same footing as the standards that we hold the same for criminals, that's a dangerous day that we have to veer away from.
Michael Jackson, Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice. Meanwhile, Chairman of JFJ, John Clark, says the upcoming End Police Violence protest organized by the human rights group is in response to concern among citizens about the rise in the number of police fatal shootings. The protest is set for April 29 at Halfway Tree Transport Center in St. Andrew. Approximately 90 civilians have been killed by the police, allegedly during confrontations since the start of the year.
We have on our end received reports as well as relates to complaints from citizens who have alleged to an uptick in relation to scenarios in relation to police-involved killings. I believe the figures would have increased over the same quarter by a very significant figure in terms of the number of citizens who have died at the hands of the police force. And not all of these cases are non-controversial, meaning that the citizens accept that these are cases in which the officers had a right to kill my family members. And what we are concerned about in relation to some of the videos that we have seen from some of these encounters would have led perhaps to the decision taken by our secretary and us to have this public education session in which we indicate to citizens and allow persons who are alleged that they are victims to have that discussion with the public in relation to the concerns that we have.
John Clark, Chairman for JFJ. The Mario Dean trial being heard in the Westmoreland Circuit Court has suffered yet another delay and is set to resume next Monday. The latest setback stems from the prosecution's difficulty securing witnesses for Thursday and Friday. When the court sat on Wednesday, the Crown told the court that it needed time to finalize arrangements with a witness who was expected to take the stand for the first time on Wednesday. The case was also stood down for more than 2 hours due to the absence of the seventh witness who testified on Tuesday and was scheduled to continue his testimony in chief on Wednesday. Warning that the case is dangerously encroaching on time, presiding judge Justice Courtney Day moved up the start time of future hearings by 1 hour. At the case management hearing in February, the court heard that evidence which started on March 3 was expected to be presented over 25 days. 15 days of testimony have so far been presented. District Constable Marlon Grant, Corporal Elaine Stewart, and Constable Juliana Cliven are on trial for the beating death of Dean in 2014. They are charged with manslaughter and misconduct in a public office. Deputy Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams, says comments by the opposition PNP about the quality of the water in parts of Kingston and St. Andrew are being used as a distraction from alleged financial irregularities at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. Councillor Williams says the corporation is approaching 2 quarters without providing financial reports.
Instead of coming and providing the reports that have been, we have not received a single report since January, and we didn't receive any up to November last year. He's saying that in his view, that is the big issue at play here, and that the issue that they were bringing was not necessary because the NWC and the Ministry of Health have already provided explanation to our satisfaction.
On Tuesday, the KSAMC passed a resolution demanding further testing of water supplied to the 2 parishes. The motion was moved by Councillor for the Trafalgar Division, Jesse James Clark, who argues that the water is contaminated. Both the Ministry of Health and the National Water Commission have rejected the allegation. Deputy Mayor Williams says the resolution is steeped in misinformation.
The Ministry of Health, through the National Public Health Labs, does about 3,600 testing in the municipality. The NWC across its 800 systems does daily testing. In some systems, especially the larger ones, multiple testing is done. So the issue is not an issue of testing. And that was the point we were making. So we don't believe that there is an issue of testing. So to ask that another agency does testing, we believe that there is no basis for that.
Delroy Williams, Deputy Mayor of Kingston. Promoters of carnival events in the corporate area have until tomorrow, Friday, April 11, to apply for amusement licenses. Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, made the announcement at the monthly meeting of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation on Tuesday.
Well, remember that all watch parties and soca party promoters that they must apply for their amusement license by April 11th, 2025. And provide the necessary requirements including insurance and fire certificates. Site layout, the KSA Health Department no objection letter if food is being served. Additionally, proper arrangement must be in place for waste disposal as they run the risk of their permit not being approved.
Under the Places of Amusement Act, any place open to the public for entertainment such as bars, clubs, concert halls, street festivals and event venues is required to have a license. This is to ensure safety standards including fire, health and traffic regulations are met. Mayor Swaby says the corporation has already advised Carnival Jamaica of the requirements.
The KSAMC, in partnership with the Carnival Secretariat, have held two interagency meetings with Carnival Jamaica stakeholders. Discussions focus on the necessary approval for road marches and Juve events, including solid waste management arrangement. It was also agreed that the Juve promoters must engage water trucks to wash away paint as the parade progresses.
Andrew Swaby, Mayor of Kingston. To regional news now, in Trinidad and Tobago, a 28-year-old man has been arrested in connection with the kidnapping of businessman Zahir Isat. The 46-year-old Isat was taken at gunpoint from a vehicle at Warren Road on April 4. He was found wandering 2 days later. He was taken to the Coroni police station where he told officers he had escaped by jumping out of a car trunk while being moved from the location where he had been held. The UK-based businessman is the owner of a private school for troubled youth in the British ceremonial county of Leicester. Isat, who was visiting Trinidad with relatives, was kidnapped after two cars blocked the vehicle he was traveling in and gunmen grabbed him from the back seat. In international news, the trade war between the U.S. and China is deepening, with the White House confirming that its tariff rate against Beijing is 145%. Washington says an existing 20% levy will be added on top of the 125% announced on Wednesday. Beijing earlier announced an 84% tariff on U.S. goods entering the country. Elsewhere, the EU put retaliatory tariffs against the US on hold after Trump paused tariff hikes against Europe for 90 days. Meanwhile, US stocks have fallen after earlier gains in the European and Asian markets. The Dow Jones and S&P 500 indices are down over 4% and the Nasdaq has been as much as 5% lower. Warner Brothers Discovery has seen a fall of 14% and Amazon Apple are both down 7%. That's it for local, regional and international news. Sports is next.
The Midday News was brought to you by Total Tools. Every tool, every trade. Success powered by learning. The Time brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is
12:20.
Total Tools is now open in Drax Hall. Mondays to Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and open on holidays. Visit them at Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne. Telephone 876-972-6328 or 876-373-2729. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah, Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, up-to-the-minute local and international sports news, this is the Nationwide Sports at Noon.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to your midday sports report here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. A century from Shakir Paris has given combined campuses and colleges a big first innings lead over the Jamaica Scorpions at lunch on day 2 of their 7th round regional 4-day game at the Sir Frank World Ground in Trinidad. The CCC, who resumed on 174 for 4, are currently 291 for 8. They have a lead of 158. Shakir Paris made 112 with 11 fours and 2 sixes. His captain Johan Jeremiah made 69 and Larry Edward 44, both those scores from yesterday. Abhijay Mansingh has so far taken 3 wickets. Pete Summon and Brad Barnes 2 apiece. Over at the Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain, the champions Guyana Harpy Eagles, they were 57 without loss, and they're responding to the TNT Red Forces 240 all out. Jad Gooley 58, Cephas Cooper and Carrie Pear 38 led the batting for the Red Force. Niall Smith has picked up 4 for 49, Keema Paul 3 and Ronaldo Ali Mohammed 2. At Coolidge, Windward Islands Volcanoes were 29 for 1 in their second innings after bowling out the West Indies Academy for a first innings 253. Captain Teddy Bishop made 56, Carlin Bowen Tuckett 45 and Justin Jagisar 42. Action in the Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League will continue this afternoon. That's Thursday, of course, at 3:30. The runaway leaders, Mount Pleasant Academy, will welcome Racing FC at Draxall. Racing are 8th in the standings at the minute, and they'll move back into the top 6 if they take all 3 points. On Wednesday, the defending champions Cavalier defeated Portmore United 1-0 at Stadium East in another rescheduled game. The champions remain 5th in the standings, but they're now just 4 points off the 4th place Portmore, who have 60 points. President of the Jamaica Olympic Association, Chris Samuda, says the decision to establish a $5 million boxing gym is more than just investment. Samuda says the gym will become the stomping and training ground for the LA Olympic squad of boxers aspiring to go to the next Olympic Games along with their coaches.
It is really capitalizing a sport and its boxers and coaches with currency beyond the dollar figure. You have to have a space with an elbow room to ply successfully your trade, and that is what the Joey is providing. You have to be a resident where you are the owner and not the tenant subject to eviction, and that is what the Joey is providing. The Joey is continually responding to the call of our member associations as they pursue Olympic dreams.
Samuda says the Olympic Gym will be home to those who are motivated to make history.
The $5 million represents a serious down payment on the future, the value of boxing. It is not a credit facility, for we do not require installments, and we are not charging any interest whatsoever. We do not expect payment in return, for it is a joint enterprise with the Jamaica Boxing Association. The only interest we both have as partners is to ensure an invaluable return on sweat, investment, and guarantees, sure guarantees, for the future of the sport.
Chris Samuda. York Castle High School stole the show at the ISA JTA Credit Union Rural Table Tennis Finals at J.C. Foster College on Wednesday. The Brownstown-based institution won the Under-19 girls category for the first time. They beat many-time champions Titchfield High School 3-2. York Castle Under-16 boys put in a good show. They beat Manchester High 5-0. It's also their first title. Coach of the York Castle team, Ryan Grizzle, says mastering the techniques contributed to their good showing.
The aim is actually to keep the regular rudiments on the table, focusing on the mechanics of the game, as well as helping the players to recognize the importance of focus, as well as not only just focus, but emotional and physical aspect of the game. And once they're able to do that, which they have displayed, then it affords them the opportunity to carry out the mandate of winning 2 trophies.
Ray and Grizzle Titchfield retained their under-19 boys title. They beat York Castle 4-1, while St. Hilda's, they retained their under-16 girls title by beating Westwood High 3-2. St. Hilda's player Elaine Ridley says the challenges they faced in preparing for the tournament made the victory even sweeter.
We worked hard to maintain the champion title, and we've come home victorious once again. It was a very hard year because we don't have much time to train, but we still put in the effort that we could, and we've come victorious once again. It's a great victory for the school. We're very proud of our athletes, and we're happy that we come home with the champion title a second year.
Elaine Ridley, the rural champions, will tackle the urban champions in the national championship at GC Foster College, and that will happen on April 16. National swimmer Kahim Lozer is continuing his rich vein of form, competing at the 4-day Hungarian National Swimming Championship, which started in Hungary yesterday. The former Kaizen Swim Club standout, who is managing his transition into the senior ranks, is coming off a one-year World Aquatic Swimming Scholarship, which ended August of 2024. Lozer has been training in Budapest with the Vasa Swim Club. He'll compete in the 50 and 100 meters butterfly as well as a 50 and 100 meters free.
I started training 9 weeks ago for this competition. Started in an aerobic phase where we slowly moved into a sprint phase over about 6 weeks. Towards the end of those 6 weeks, I took a 2-week camp in Austria, focusing on technique and race readiness. After that camp, it was mainly technique work the week leading up to competition. I feel mentally prepared and rested for this competition, so I'm hoping that the times will show and I'm able to hopefully qualify for World Championship or just better my times in general.
Yeah, that's Kahim Loza. Meanwhile, another former Kaizen swimmer, Keto Campbell, is wrapping up his collegiate season and eyeing the TYR Pro Series coming up at the end of the month. Campbell said this will be his first long course meet coming off the heel of the collegiate short course yards year. Campbell will measure himself at the TYR Pro and then transition into some high altitude training in the summer. And the first ever Olympic medal for compound archers will be awarded at the 2028 Olympic Games in LA following the International Olympic Committee's announcement that the compound mixed team event will be added to the archery program in Los Angeles. It marks a historic milestone for the sport and the global compound archery community. The compound mixed team competition joins the existing 5 recurve events, men and women individual, men and women team, and mixed team on the program, bringing the total number of archery medals available to 6. It is the first time since archery's reintroduction to the Olympic Games in 1972 that a new bow style is added to the competition. Some basketball news. Joni Ricketts scored 13 points in St. Andrew High's 24-18 win over Immaculate Conception in the urban area Issa Schoolgirls basketball competition on Wednesday. In other results, Wolmer's beat Arden 23-13 at Excelsior. They defeated St. Hughes 24-9. In the rural area competition, Manchester defeated Homer Tech 36-14. And finally in sports at this time, LeBron James, one of the most iconic figures in modern sport, has made history once again, this time in the toy aisle. Mattel has announced the release of a new Barbie in James's likeness, making him the first professional male athlete to be honored as a Ken doll. The doll features a Los Angeles Lakers basketball player in his pre-game fashion and reflects his height. It's an inch taller than the standard Ken doll. The new doll comes as the company is facing financial uncertainty amid President Donald Trump's escalating trade war with China, where just under 40% of Mattel's production is based. Trump announced on Wednesday that tariffs on goods from China would increase to 125%. He accused Beijing of a lack of respect after it retaliated and said it would impose tariffs of 84% on U.S. imports. And that will do it for your midday sports report here on Nationwide 90 FM. Sports is going to be back on this station, at 5:25 this afternoon. Until then, I'm Wayne Walker. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
This is a public advisory. On Sunday, April 13, 2025, the Mayor's Parlor will start at 12:30 and end at 6 p.m. We do apologize for any inconvenience caused.
To
To recap our top stories making the world at noon, crowds swarm Fontana Waterloo for launch of Rihanna's Fenty Beauty and Fenty Skin product lines. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration prefers upskilling local labor force over importing workers. Mario Dean trial adjourned until next Monday following string of delays. I'm Robeanne Williams. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. Major news next at 5. Good afternoon.
Since 2016, 253,000 more Jamaicans are working. That's 28,000 new jobs each year. We are building Jamaica. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is
12:31.
What makes a burrito bun so attractive?
We have a history of strong financial performance and growth, demonstrating resilience.
Our leverage remains low relative to our peers.
The bond is available in both Jamaican and US dollars, ranging from tenures between 2 to 10 years at attractive interest rates. Plus, it's expected to be listed, which will enhance liquidity for all investors.
Burrito bonds are burrito strong. Download our prospectus, call a burrito advisor, and invest today.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We are having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Benjamin. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I'll soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand.
Timeline with the stinger, Honey Bee.
Welcome back. Top of the afternoon to you. When you hear those sounds, you know what time it is. It's time for the sweet one who stings. It's the timeline with Honey Bee. Yeah, I like to call her Hanukkah Brown. Yeah.
That's really funny. You like to call me Hanukkah Brown.
Yeah, I much prefer Hanukkah Brown. It has something to it. You know?
Well, that is my name. That is my name.
It has an oomph.
Yeah, man, it have oomph, man. You understand? Yes.
Yeah, your parents did a good job.
I think so too. I think for people from the country who never go high school, yes.
No, we're not putting it like that. Not
No, I'm
for
just
people.
saying, they weren't very exposed, but they have a kind of knowledge that you don't find necessarily in books.
I see where you're going.
That is
They
it.
understood the assignment.
They understand the assignment.
Them give a big name.
Yes.
You know, them say great.
Cause them say she need to come do better than we. You understand?
That's right.
So them
That's
dig
right.
deep. That is it.
So what's trending on the timeline, Lady Hanukkah?
No, that's so funny because me lock up the. I had the tablet closed, like I wasn't here to do that. But it's Fenty
I'm sure
Day.
you're gonna start with Fenty, right?
Absolutely, we're starting with Fenty. It's Fenty Day in Jamaica. Guys, Fenty Beauty and Fenty Skin products are now available at Fontana Pharmacy's Waterloo and Kingston locations, with the Fairview St. James location joining in on April 12th. The launch happened earlier today, and we had Tana Thomas was there. We're going to be playing some clips from what Tana and the team captured in the E-Zone. But boy, I'm telling you, Tyrone, people like see many people.
Like Elsha.
Like Elsha, there's so many people there today, and it seemed like it was a very good time.
Were you there?
No. It wasn't gonna work for me. No. 9 a.m. Number 1, number 2. Rihanna wasn't there. But we want to say a special shout out to content creator /influencer Tavian Telfa for showing out in her latest Fenty promotion video. She went above and beyond with her promo, something Rihanna would surely stamp and approve. Like she understood the assignment. Like she got in Rihanna because listen, for me when I think about Fenty, I think about inclusivity. I think about the ordinary everyday woman, just as you are, with your imperfections, with your flaws, all of what society now would tell you are not standards of beauty. That's what Fenty is about. And not just Fenty makeup or Fenty skin, but also Savage X Fenty, the lingerie. It's about women with curves and women that look like your sister or your aunt. You know what I'm saying? And what Tavian did in this video, she just went real Jamaican style. She just going at the real Jamaican communities, and she did a great job. We're gonna show it to you. Here we go. All right, while we get that going, are we ready? Okay.
To the love of my life, everlasting. See ya. You're the rose in my darling, pretty little flower. I'm an angel, fairy godmother. I fly to the end, and also another. One and only, I don't need another. You're my in the winter, days in my summer. Love and skin engine, going by the hour. It's making me life when me life seems sour. All my energy, the source of my power. Just like that. Reaching on to the love of my life, everlasting. See ya. You're the rose in my darling, pretty little flower. I'm an angel, fairy godmother. I fly to the end, and also another.
Right. Tyrone, what do you think? I mean, listen, she can't go wrong with Buju, especially that song Made My Day, one of my favorites from his massive catalog.
I was a Buju Banton fan back in the day. I think
Was.
he's perhaps the greatest. Yeah, I don't listen to music anymore, right? We have this.
Me know we discuss it still, but me don't know if you have to put it so. But anyways, go on.
No, but he was my favorite DJ.
Yeah.
I think he's the greatest to ever do it.
Yes.
In terms of a DJ, and that's I remember that one. It showed the Gargamel's range.
Man.
It was one of his popular songs. But I'm not a big fan of makeup in it, so I leave it to you. Yeah. In principle, I disagree with the makeup industry. Telling people that they're trying to suggest that people don't look good the way they are, that you need to be made
you need to enhance.
I don't. I'm not a fan of makeup, but you see what Rihanna is doing as a fellow person of the Caribbean, and she has done well for herself. You have to respect that, eh?
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree with you. And I don't have a, I understand your stance on makeup. It's just it's just one of those things. When you look at the landscape, when you look at the different things that you can use to enhance yourself or to adorn yourself, for me, makeup is just one of them. In a lot of ways, in the way that we wear clothes. You know what I'm saying?
It's temporary, and it's not as I would suppose life threatening as BBLs, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So on the hierarchy of
it's the lesser of the evils.
It's definitely the lesser evil.
I hear you on it.
Why I'm trim? Oh.
What was that?
Oh, so we're just having a little discussion here. We're just why do you trim your hair?
Not doing a great job with it now. If you can see the cover.
No, for real, you're really not doing a great job with you. But but I mean, I get what you're saying.
YouTube have been at me about you. No, that's just my personal position on makeup. I think the industry strives on telling people that you are inadequate and you need to be made up. And I have a fundamental issue with that.
Yeah.
Particularly as it relates to they basically try to sell us, in particular people that look like us, a certain ideal of beauty, and I reject those notions.
Listen, Tyrone, I am there with you on that one. Trying to, especially as you said, black people with our black kinky hair, just trying to tell us that hey, it doesn't look good like that. You've got to one either cut it or you can't wear yourself an afro, or you've got to perm it or straighten it, or all these different things. All of these things are things that I have just been absolutely and totally against all my life. That is why I wear my hair the way I wear my hair. But there are levels to it. And as I say, well, makeup is one of the lesser evils.
Be groomed. I'm not against grooming. Yeah, I want to be clear on that. I'm not against grooming. I really do think we should be groomed. Yeah, but there's this ideal of beauty, and it feeds into the makeup industry.
Yeah.
That they have of beauty. Yeah, and I reject those things still. I don't really embrace those things. So. That's just my view on it. So I'm not big on makeup, but
yes,
kudos to all the people who are going out there to support their Caribbean native Rihanna.
Absolutely.
I'm not a big Rihanna fan either, I must say.
Yeah, can you say why?
I'm not a fan. I think by the time Rihanna became famous, I'd already stopped listening to the music. I think she can sing better than a lot of the people who are out there, but I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan of hers. I think she's a better singer than Beyonce.
What?
But yeah, I'm not a fan of either of them, really. When I say I'm not a fan, I mean I'm not a fan of their music. I don't consume.
I understand what you're saying, because for me, when it comes to Rihanna, it's less about the music. It's more about what she represents. When I look at her, I see a Caribbean sister who sort of, in a lot of ways, grew up around the lane, left home at a very early age, and just went to take on the world, and did so in a way that I think was just authentic and brave. Because the scrutiny you come under, the pressure you come under to change and to be different, and to even change yourself and your appearance when you are in the spotlight like that, I think that she has done really great, you know what I mean, to sort of just be herself, and that for me is liberating. Yeah.
She has this odd off-ball personality, which I think I can appreciate. I've seen her in interviews, and she just has this. There's this oddity is not the word I'm reaching for, but there's just this thing about her personality that seems a tad endearing.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you. All right. On that note, we're gonna go for a short break, and we'll be right back.
Are you ready for something mega?
Spend $6,500 or more before GCT, drop your entry in the box and you can win a 2025 Hyundai Tucson. It's the Mega Wheels Tour promotion, April 5th to September 28th. Second prize, a $50,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Third prize, a $30,000 shopping spree every month for a year. Brought to you by Hyundai, Redstone, Heineken, True Milk, Grace, Walker's Wood, Downing, CPJ Daiquiri, and Reverse Juice Concentrate. Only at Megamart, locations island-wide. Megamart, best value by far. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Want to reduce your high electricity bills? Then Peak Energy has the solution for you. From grid-tied to hybrid solar inverters with full lithium-ion battery pack. Installation and maintenance packages available. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hill, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
What makes a burrito bun so attractive?
We have a history of strong financial performance and growth, demonstrating resilience.
Our leverage remains low relative to our peers.
The bond is available in both Jamaican and US dollars, ranging from tenures between 2 to 10 years at attractive interest rates. Plus, it's expected to be listed, which will enhance liquidity for all investors.
Burrito bonds are burrito strong. Download our prospectus, call a burrito advisor, and invest today.
Welcome back. Thank you so much. When you hear those sounds, you know it's the timeline. We have Lady Annika Brown in the house. She's telling us what's trending. Honey B, over to you.
Yes, Tyrone. So I don't know if you saw this little clip, but the teacher says no bleaching again. Dancehall icon Vibes Cartel says he will never bleach again, attributing his past choices to issues of self-love. The renowned artist discussed his skin bleaching history during a recent appearance on the Hot 97 radio show with American radio personality and presenter Ebro Darden. Here's a clip.
Vibes. A lot of convo obviously was made when you was bleaching and you know all of this. Now that's not your thing anymore.
No. Fully melanated.
Have you ever had a chance to look at what you was going through and why you wanted to do that?
I mean, in hindsight, I think it definitely had to do with self-love. But on the other hand, while I was doing it, my mind wasn't telling me that. My mind was telling me, I'm doing this to show my tattoos because I got a lot of tattoos, blah, blah, blah. But looking back, I think it was just, as a black man, sometimes you have those issues. Even with black women, the hair, like, if Laura cut her hair, she could sell it to a black woman right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have that issue. We like light skin and...
White supremacy has done the job.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. I would never bleach again, though.
Yes, that's Vibes Cartel on Hot 97 radio show. Now, Cartel also shared during the interview that he has reduced his alcohol and smoking habits and looked forward to marrying his girlfriend, Sidem Ozturk, and having Turkish children. Yes. Oh my word! But
not Turkish, Jamaican children. Turkish.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna be Jamaican too. But I suppose he's just speaking to the other side of things. But
it's good to hear Vibes Cartel saying that because a lot of people took their cue from him in terms of trying to rationalize bleaching.
Absolutely.
And so it's really good to hear him say that, and he should continue to spread that message.
He should.
Be proud of your blackness. Yes.
He absolutely should. And I remember when I was at UE when he came there to do the lecture. At the time, it was the heights of his career. I mean, influence was out of this world. Tyrone. Everybody was trying to bleach or using cake soap, and he came and it was a swarm of students there just listening to this man talk about individuality and defiance and just doing what he feels like doing because it's his choice. So it's interesting to see him now, at the end of the day, 13 years later, able to really say, hey, the truth is, I was not contented with myself and the way I looked. I told myself that it was because I wanted people to be able to see my tattoos better, but the truth is that I had a dis-ease with my skin. So it's a great message.
Powerful stuff, actually. To hear D Queen is not convinced that he's coming from a genuine place with it on our YouTube channel. D Queen says the bleaching has to stop. He has no choice, she says, and she believes it's hypocritical of him to come out and say it. Now, what do you make of that, Honeybee?
The truth is that you will have people who will look at it and say, hey, this is probably just another marketing ploy because he's a quote unquote marketing genius. He did the bleaching back then to get himself a certain level of notoriety, and people certainly flocked to him because of that. And then now at the turn of the decade, he's preaching another message because, again, once it's marketable, it could be so. I'm not in this man's mind, I don't know, but what I'm saying is that that's the message that I can support.
Absolutely, and he needs to as I say, continue promoting that message, that beneath it all, beneath the surface, there must be some amount of self-hate for you to want to bleach your skin.
You're damaging yourself,
Absolutely.
So, hey, listen. Yeah, all right. Well, that's it for timeline. I don't think we have a lot of time to get into another story.
No, we do, man. Go ahead.
We do? Okay.
Well,
you
can give us one more.
Shensia and Massacre lead the 2025 Caribbean Music Awards with 7 nominations each. Kaboom magazine shared that Grammy-nominated dancehall superstar Shensia and dancehall hitmaker Massacre lead the nominations for the 2025 Caribbean Music Awards with 7 nods each. Of course, I want to say congratulations to them. Voting officially opened on Wednesday, with Shensia scoring major recognition for her Grammy-nominated sophomore album, Never Gets Laid Here. And I know you don't listen, Tyrone, but have you heard any of the songs from this album? One of the biggest songs from it is her collaboration with Massacre himself, Hit and Run.
No, I quite frankly, I'm not a fan of the modern day kind of music. I don't think if I was listening, I'd be a fan of them. I'd probably just listen to 90s and
90s stuff. Well, the reason why I'm asking you if you've heard Hit and Run, it's produced by Steven the Genius. It's a song that she did with Massacre, and it's really the song that has, in a lot of ways, revived their career in such an amazing way. It became an international hit. But the messaging of the song, though, the messaging is really controversial. And the thing about it is so catchy that I was with Heart and STA Trust on one of their school tours the other day, and we were on the compound of Charlie Smith High School, and Tyrone, the song came on, and me I tell Nora, every picnic from every crevice and corner of the school in a chorus. You couldn't see these children, but you could hear their voices. Every child wanted to hit and run. I said, boy, but look at this. Anyways,
you know this song? I don't know it.
You see, I don't know it. Well, from the title, you can see, you can probably surmise what it's about. She's saying that, she's just not ready to settle down, and she's just gave him a hit and run, and yeah, if he was looking for love, then he's dumb, because she not upon that, okay?
Wow.
There said, whoa. Be careful about that. But the reason why it was troubling for me, as I was saying to you, is because of just how the students, the kids, they grab onto these things and they run with it, But hey, man, I suppose we shall
two things I want to ask you. Another drawback is what I describe as the monotony. Everybody is sounding the same way, trying to do the same thing.
You mean with the topics?
Is it trap? Is that what it's called? Everybody's seemingly delivering in the same way, and everybody's sounding the same. And most of the hit songs over the last few years, basically singing along the same tune, kind of thing. Same kind of vibe.
I suppose it's just the sound, Tyrone. I mean, one could argue that in the 90s, the 90s dancehall also had a sound and particular topics that people,
there was more individuality, though, I would argue.
You think so?
Honey.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
There was more. I mean, we had this thing where everybody was doing a song on the same rhythm, and I think that was kind of
juggling.
Odd. Yeah, it was odd, and we took it too far. That kind of limited.
You think juggling odd?
And, yeah, to have so many songs on one rhythm. Yeah, I think it signals a lack of creativity.
No, man, juggling was a great time, man. Wouldn't you say that even juggling forced artists to be more creative because you're on the same rhythm with another artist? There was competition. Cause you want to take the rhythm, Tyrone. I don't know. It's just...
It was lazy. So one person produce a rhythm and they have 10,000 artists on it, and they might get 3 or 4 hit songs off of it. I think it promoted a lack of creativity. That's just my view on it.
Understand your view.
The other thing I wanted to ask you, do you think Shenseea is a superstar? She has reached that level?
She's definitely on her way there. She's certainly right now picking up the sort of traction that can get her there. But one thing I would just want her to work on is her performance art. Just work on your performance, and just keep going in that trajectory. I think she could eventually become a superstar.
As I think I did hear you describe her as such. This is why I asked. And 2.
Oh, you mean just now in the story?
Yeah, a lot of our dancehall artists grapple with that live on record and dead on the stage.
True.
That's what you're talking about, live performance.
Yes.
There was one who famously struggled with that, and I think he eventually got it right. I wrote a few articles about him back in the day. Sean Paul, he was seen to be very, very great on record, but when he came to his stage presence, he had some trouble. But I gather he remedied that.
Yeah, man.
Because he became an international hit, right?
Sean has found the formula. And right now he's unstoppable. Like, he is a superstar if we're talking about superstars, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, it is. But the people love when you close out, Honeybee. We're out of time.
Why? Hey, you see you're not easy now.
People love it when you do the close out. So over to you. Close us out. Give us that Honeybee close out.
Today I want to start by thanking you, Tyrone. I mean, thank you so much for holding it down for the boss, while he's away. We appreciate you. I don't know if you're on a different time. Are you on a different time zone right now than we are?
Yes.
Man.
I am on a different time zone.
Yes, and you make yourself available, and it shows your dedication to Nationwide and to your craft, and we appreciate you.
You hear that, Cliff? I deserve a raise. I think that's what Honeybee is saying.
Yeah, man. Yes. Subliminally, they can give you some more money. Yeah, so, right? I want to say thank you to our super producers, Nora Gay Banton and Michelle McCrae Smith and Natalie Nita. Because without them, all right, where are we? Yeah? Just wading in the waters, sort of listless and lost. And Kevin, of course, the pilot of the ship. We appreciate you, Kevin. Thanks for, doing what you do every day here. And to our listeners and our viewers, showing up and showing out. You're the reason why we come. You're the reason why we do this. Yes? And of course, before I end, to myself, just lots and lots of love. Because, oh my God, the things I have to put up with and deal with is not easy. But I continuously... uphold myself in good faith as I continue on this journey and on this path. Up next, yes, it's Oasis with Lloyd Gale, and then the Entertainment Block with DJ Jerome, and then over to the E-Zone, 3 to 5 p.m. Thank you for listening.
You've just heard Cliff Hughes Online with Tyrone Reed on Nationwide 90 FM.
Like a rock. My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.